Rooster. We all go a little mad sometimes.
You lied and I died.
A few Rooster, yeah. They're coming to get you, Barbara.
How's it hanging, Phil?
What's the prime time, bitch?
Come and get it! So either put the gun down now or kiss your ass goodbye.
Let's get this party started.
I agree, Dana. Let's get this party started. Welcome back to Sledgehammer Horror, guys. I am Ken Sledge.
And I'm Ashley Sledge.
And let's talk 2000s horror. Now, today we are joined by some repeat offenders, people that we are super obsessed with, that we are so in love with. We have Justin, Ryan 1988. Justin, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing good. How are you all doing tonight?
We are fantastic. We also got the amazing Pizowell here. Piz, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
We are very happy to have you here, man. This is the first time that we've worked with you together on a live, so we're very excited about that. We also have the amazing Lost River Drive-In. Nick, how you doing tonight, man?
Sup, you six sons of bitches.
Happy to have you here, man. Welcome back. And I don't know if Christian's still with us. You still here, Christian?
Yeah, no, I wasn't kidding. He actually said his head is like killing him. So he's probably going. I just texted him and I was like, go get some ibuprofen or something, man. Power through.
Yeah,
Those hangovers, man. Those hangovers.
Dude, health first, man. We totally understand. Real quick, I do want to catch up on the chat. There's a lot. J Dev is here. Danielle.
Hey, guys.
Shaheem. Heather.
Hey, Heather.
Nice to see you, Heather. John's here. What's up, buddy?
John.
Duffman Dioramas. Thanks for stopping out. We appreciate it.
Hello.
Our boy Nathan's here.
Hey, Nathan.
Shaheem, I think I already said that, but I'm a repeat
Hi,
word sayer.
Shaheem.
Christian, you feeling okay?
No, I spilt my drink right when you started the menu screen, so I had to go get up and clean that up real quick. I'm sorry.
So it's not the hangover yet, Piz. He's working up to the hangover. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, we're glad to have you here, man.
Glad to be here.
Justin says 2000 to 2009 was not the greatest era of horror, but there are some good ones. Thanks for stopping out.
Yeah.
Very excited about this one. 80s is my favorite, then 2000, then 90s. Ben Ready, what a stacked panel. I agree. And Charles, thank you so much for your donation. Let's sing a little bit, buddy.
Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby.
Yes, thank you so much for stopping out, man. We appreciate it. Ryan's here, Bill, Ashton, Saturn Video. There's a lot of people here in the chat. Thank you guys for stopping out. Captain Spaulding, Peter, what's going on? So guys, there's a lot of people. We appreciate you all being here. I hope you guys have an amazing time. So what we're gonna do, Justin didn't get the memo properly because I am.
By the way, I'm fixing it. By the way, so keep talking. I'm fixing it.
Okay. What we're doing, every year, 2000 to 2009, we're doing an honorable mention and our favorite from that year. So for me, it was 2000 was kind of hard. Like you had American Psycho, you had Scream 3, but I narrowed it down to my honorable mention, even though a lot of people won't consider it horror. My honorable mention in 2000 was What Lies Beneath. I think that's a fantastic movie. I think it's a great horror movie. And my winner, obviously, Final Destination. I think the first Final Destination is a classic. I think that we often forget how great that movie was when it first came out. Moments that we take for granted now, like when that girl gets hit by the bus. Like I remember the theater screaming at that moment when that happened. There's just Final Destination is one of those movies that I revisit often, and I just absolutely adore the movie. So had to have it on mine as my number one. What Lies Beneath as an honorable mention. Final Destination as my favorite. What about you, my love?
My honorable mention is Ginger Snaps. I love this coming to age werewolf movie. I think the werewolf transformation, the way like the tail and stuff, like it freaked me out. Like it looks awesome, but it's so weird. I love that movie. And then Final Destination won it for me as well. Like when it first came out, I was obsessed with it. And it was so unique. Like, you have this movie that plays on your actual real life fears, and I loved it. And it had Devin Sawa in it, and yeah. So
fantastic. So we're gonna skip you for now, Justin. Piz, you want to give us yours 2000s?
Yeah. Let's. I actually had 3 honorable mentions, but I'm gonna narrow them down. I'm gonna narrow it down to one, and one favorite. So my honorable mention is Versus, which is a Japanese action zombie turn sci-fi extravaganza. It's lots of action, lots of gore, just insanely awesome movie. If you've not seen it, definitely look it up. Versus, great movie. My favorite from that year is American Psycho, hands down. I love that movie. I love the book. I can watch that movie just about any time. It's infinitely quotable. And Patrick Bateman is just one of the most memorable, sick, twisted, hilarious characters in cinema history, period.
Cheers to that.
Ashley, that's actually she just had to walk away for a second. She had to go return some videotapes, but she'll be back with us here in just a second. We do have a sick kid tonight, and she just threw up again. So Ashley's being mom, and I'm
guys,
being
sorry to hear
a
that.
shitty dad. So what about you, Nick? What's 2000 looking like for you?
Well, I feel like I didn't do like any honorable mentions because I was like, oh well, there's altogether there's gonna be 6 of us. I don't want to take too much time with honorable mentions, but as you guys say things, I guess I'll tip my cap to American Psycho. Although still to this day, the ending confounds me, and I guess that's the point. You're just kind of like, what was real and what wasn't. It's like ultimate blue balls. But it's a great movie. It's a great time. But I think the one for me is Final Destination. That movie made me scared of planes. So I didn't take my first flight until my 21st birthday. It was actually on my 21st birthday. I was like, I'm going to die on my 21st birthday. That's sick. Ever since that first flight, it's been fine. I actually like flying. I actually like turbulence. I don't know. I might be crazy. Some people freak out. I like turbulence, but Final Destination, man, that movie rocked my socks off. To put it lightly. I mean, you talk about her getting hit by the bus, but for me, it was Sean William Scott getting his head cut off by the piece of metal from the train track that I was just like, oh, Jesus. So yeah, Final Destination.
I was like, no, not Stifler. So what about you, Christian? What's your 2000s looking like?
Just before I get going, am I coming out through my mic and everything? Do I sound good to everybody?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. My honorable mention, credit to Piz because he actually reviewed this, and I guess it's really not exactly horror, but it's one of those titles that's like in that weird nebulous of genres. Hollow Man with Kevin Bacon.
I love that movie.
I really, I didn't want to pick that, but I really liked it, even though some of the effects are modest at the time. But I couldn't go against American Psycho because to me that movie's timeless feeling, and to me that edges out Final Destination a little bit. But Final Destination is fantastic, but I had to go with American Psycho as well.
No, again, it's hard to argue against any of these because a couple of these years, like the first probably 5 or 6 years of the 2000s, have a lot of amazing movies, and we get weaker, I feel like, as we go. But what about you, Justin? Are you ready to give your 2000s?
I am.
Leprechaun in the Hood.
You what?
Leprechaun in the Hood.
Oh no. It's okay. My honorable mention is going to be Final Destination. So I remember seeing that movie. I think we rented it on VHS and got hooked right away. And I've loved it ever since. And I can't believe it's 23 years old now. But for me, every time I watch it, it still holds up. And I was never afraid of planes after watching the movie, but when I still watch it now, it's a very suspenseful film, and I love the movie. So
I never needed to watch Final Destinations to be afraid of planes. I was like innately afraid of planes. Just from
Dude.
like I hated getting on planes.
I'm dead serious. La Bamba. Watching La Bamba as a kid terrified me of
Mm.
airplanes.
Yeah. Oh, my mom made me watch that like once a month when I was a kid.
Yeah,
Okay.
Never.
dude, I'm telling you, when he has the dream and the fucking wing falls on him in the dream, like when they're out playing basketball,
Yeah.
like that ruined me as a kid. I was like, no, planes are in the sky, they fall, and I die. I'm not doing it.
Well, so that was my honorable mention, but my from 2000, like without a doubt, because this movie, every time I watch it, I love it. It's American Psycho. So I got to go American Psycho with this one from 2000. Although
Where's the
Jimmy Cap's-
variety at?
Love
God,
American
we're
Psycho
all
love
like
in
in
here.
Wow.
we're all in lockstep already. This is BS. Christian, you should have said
Somebody did
Leprechaun in the Hood.
Justin Smith mentioned The Cell, and The Cell is an awesome
Cell
movie.
is good.
I love
Yeah.
that movie. That's such
I don't know how
I've
you
got
can...
the novel. I always keep the novel right near me just so I can read the rat chapter whenever I feel.
I love it.
Yeah.
Whenever I want to feel warm and fuzzy inside, I read the chapter about the rat.
I'm
That's
I'm
awesome.
also
Clearly, none of you have read the book
no.
because the rat chapter is not warm and fuzzy at all.
I
No,
figured
kind
it
of
wasn't, but yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of how
I would read the book, but I'm not a nerd, so I don't read.
he can't. He has to sound out the hard.
I'm messing with you. I'm actually
I
balls
would
deep
read
right
the
now
book,
in
but I can't
Stephen
read,
King's Night
so.
Shift.
Just have to sound him out.
Yeah. Unless the pictures pop up at me, I am not interested.
Yeah.
I'm a
So-
diehard Huey Lewis and the News fan too, so to go
Oh,
against
yeah.
American Psycho would be criminal for me.
Mhm,
Can't do it.
Can't go
I don't blame you for that. I mean, Back to
I
the
love
Future.
Huey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to catch up on the chat here a little bit. I agree. These guys are
Mhm.
amazing. We're so lucky to have all of them
Thank
here.
you.
And Heather, she is putting everybody's links in the chat. If you
Thank you,
haven't
Heather.
subscribed to any of these amazing people, make sure you're subscribed to them.
Thank
They're
you.
all fantastic content creators. Hey, Captain Spaulding, thank you. We appreciate that. This is the decade my list starts. Oh, yeah. International horror. There's definitely going to be some international horror tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Charles, thank you so much for your support. I'm seeing a lot of love for Scary Movie. Hey, what's up, Dice?
Hey, Dice.
I would have
Love
totally
Scary
put Scary
Movie.
Movie on my list if I would have thought about it. I feel like it's
Ken,
jerk that I didn't think about it.
Ken, did anybody say in the chat Leprechaun in the Hood?
I don't think
I'm looking right now.
Like
I don't
just
see
want
any
one
Leprechaun
person.
Yeah, I don't see any left.
One person to
No
say it.
love for
No
Leprechaun in the
Dude,
Hood.
me and Sydney binged the franchise yesterday, what it
Poor
was
Leppy.
for St. Patrick's Day. She actually really liked Leprechaun in the Hood.
I will go on record as saying,
It's-
Christian, I said it on the
it's
podcast.
not the worst
Up until the third act, it's not awful, and then the third act is absolutely
No.
atrocious. It's
I mean, there's
Well.
like Leprechaun in Space. That's way worse.
Oh, there's so many
Christian
worse
thinks
movies in
that's
that
a
franchise.
masterpiece.
I love Leprechaun
Fuck that
4.
movie.
That
What's your favorite
I
movie,
see
Ken?
Matt, Peter,
Just
everybody.
wondering. What's your
Well,
favorite
of the
movie?
Leprechaun franchise?
No, just what's your favorite movie?
House, 1986.
Fuck
That's
that
what I was
movie.
about to say.
Don't do it, Christian.
Fucking with you.
I was waiting for it too.
I knew.
Go ahead, Christian. Keep going, please.
Oh no, hey Ken. No BS, dude. I'm with you. I love House. I got my Big Ben.
Yes,
Oh, that's awesome.
that's sick. That is sick.
Yeah.
All right, so babe, do you want to actually my favorite in the Leprechaun franchise, I do just want to make it very well known. My favorite is the last one.
That's not
Returns?
That's not-
Yeah, it's
I
Returns.
love
Returns,
Leprechaun
yeah.
Returns. It was
Oh, yeah.
good. I love that.
I think the origin one is the worst one.
Yeah.
That one is stupid.
It goes Return, and that's followed by the first one, and then In the Hood. In the Hood is my third favorite, probably.
Yeah.
Piz, what's the best Leprechaun movie?
Apparently, it's one I've not seen.
Which one's that?
I don't know. I lost track. I've not seen any
No.
Leprechaun movie in years.
Christian
You haven't
forced-
missed out on much.
No,
Yeah.
Christian forced
Dude,
me to.
Hey,
they're
Return is good. Leprechaun
they're-
Return. Watch that one.
Yeah,
That
Dude,
it was
those
very good.
movies are dynamite. I don't know what the problem is.
I
love
love the
Leprechaun.
Leprechaun himself. It's all the
Leppy-
stuff that happens around him that pisses me off. better late than never, my friend.
Watch Origins. Great movie.
Stop it,
All right,
Piz.
that's horrible.
The only
No,
good
it's-
thing
it's
about
awful.
that movie is Teach Grant. So do you want to get us started on your 2001?
Yeah. So my honorable mention is Frailty. This movie really messed with my head.
That's your honorable
It
mention.
is. Because 13 Ghosts won it for me for that year. I watched this by myself. I was like 12 or 13, and it scared the living shit out of me. Like I was like calling my mom to come home. It scared me. And even like rewatching it now as an adult, I think it's still so good. And I love all the backstories of the ghosts, and I think they look awesome. So yeah, 13 Ghosts won it for me for that year.
I love
That's
that
fair, I
movie.
guess.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Justin? Are you ready, Justin, or should I?
I am ready. Yes.
Okay.
I
How's
am ready.
01 look for you?
Okay, so honorable mention is Valentine from 2001.
Okay.
I'm a huge Valentine fan.
That's a good
Big
one.
shout out to Jamie Blanks, like such a great director, and I wish he would do more because he directed not only one of my favorite horror movies from the 90s, which is Urban Legend, but he directed this movie. And I love that, when you listen to the old commentary on the DVD, he said he was really inspired with The Mask, like John Carpenter was with Michael Myers and The Shape, like kind of just like
The Mask is awesome.
it is awesome. And it's eerie. Like it's an eerie mask. You would not think a Cupid mask would be that, but it is.
Right.
And on top of that, you got some really good kills. I love the use of red in the movie. Like he really does such a great job with the color red. And I really love the writing and the cast. Like this was a slasher film that sadly came out kind of towards the end of that era of, the Scream, late 90s, early 2000s, and, came out and didn't really get enough talk, but I think over time has really built a fan base. And I love this movie so much. So I
Some
watch
great kills in the movie, man.
Yeah.
The kills are great, and they're really like thought of too. Like he comes up with some really clever ones, like Denise Richards' death in the hot tub. How like in the beginning of the movie she said, "I'd rather be burned alive or boiled alive," and like that, foreshadows her future when she's an adult. You have Lily's death. You have that, scene in the movie where she gets even like, before her death, like the chocolates with the maggots in them. And I mean, shout out to Jamie Blanks. I love him. Like I want him to do some more stuff. Like I've seen Storm Warning, I think he directed, and that was a great movie. So yeah, big fan of Jamie Blanks. So
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
and then my let's see, the one I picked that year is Session 9, which is a great eerie, not haunted house, but supernatural haunted asylum movie. Again, like with Valentine, it just has some great writing in it, some great characters. Like the whole time I'm watching the movie, I'm engaged with the whole film, from the characters and the setting and the atmosphere. And like some of the eeriest moments for me in any movie are the times where you have the tapes playing and you hear the sessions going on and the voices happening. And I love this movie. And again, this was like one of those films, like when you go and watch the interviews, it's really interesting. It was supposed to go out in theaters, and for some reason the studio, I don't know if they didn't have faith in it or what happened, but it went on USA, and it was a USA premiere movie, kind of like with a movie from the previous year, Cherry Falls. Same thing, both supposed to be theatrical movies, and for whatever reason got put on USA. But Session 9, great movie and quite eerie and creepy. So
nice.
Great choice.
Yeah.
The voice on that recorder, man, is just so creepy.
I talking
Go ahead,
about
Justin.
this voice.
Yes, man. That's fantastic. How about you, Piz? What's 2001 look like for you?
This was a difficult year. I mean, of course, Frailty, Session 9, both great movies. I had both of those listed as a favorite, but they've been mentioned, so I'm going to go with something different. I'll also give a shout out to Valentine. I love Valentine. I rewatched it just the other day. But my honorable mention is actually going to be another horror movie from the Far East, and that's Pulse/Cairo. It is one of the darkest, most depressing movies you'll probably ever see, but it definitely leaves a mark on you. It's hard to forget, and the scares in it it's really intense. Really, really intense. I would highly recommend Pulse, aka Cairo. Do not watch the remake. There was an American remake
It
that
sucks.
was
It's so
unbelievably awful. And since Frailty and Session 9 were mentioned, I'm going to say Donnie Darko was my favorite of 2001.
Ooh, great choice.
Okay, there we go.
Why are you wearing that stupid Pizowell suit?
Exactly. Yes. I don't think I need to go into any detail about Donnie Darko, right? So
I think the older we get, the more we actually realize too, like how huge that cast is in Donnie Darko.
Patrick Swayze, Drew Barrymore,
Gigantic cast, man.
Little Tears for
Nick,
Fears
what about
action.
you? What's for sure. What's 01 looking like for you, Nick?
Well, so this is an interesting one. Unfortunately, there's controversy around it, and I'm sure some of you guys know what I'm going to say right now. I don't need to get too in depth with it, but from the first time I saw it when I was younger, it scared the crap out of me. It happened to be filmed where my mom lives, so I've been able to go to all of the filming locations, which was awesome. They're like 15 minutes away from her house. It's Jeepers Creepers.
I love the
I
movie.
think that first movie, from Jonathan Brecht, Justin Long, Gina Phillips, like the setting, it's one of those movies from the early 2000s that sticks out for me. Like one that I can go back to and just like, I don't know, kind of transports me back to like being a kid, and just remembering the first few times I saw that movie and how much it scared the crap out of me. And like I said, I know there's controversy around it. I'm not going to get into that. Obviously, the director is a piece of shit. I'm not in any way excusing that, but the thousands of other people that worked on that movie that put their heart and soul into it, it shows because it's a really good movie. So
It is.
I that's mine from 01.
It's a scary movie. Like I watched it back in May, and like it still holds up. It's a scary movie. Jonathan Brecht, amazing in the role, and I love our two leads from like the beginning to the very end.
It was interesting when we did a podcast episode about the movie when we first started UNITA, and he ripped off the opening scene is a Unsolved Mysteries episode, almost verbatim, and you could add plagiarism on top of his other crimes that he's committed. That's it's like
What a piece of
so
work.
close. Yeah.
Dude, I was not a big fan of the newest one, but I do like the little wink in the beginning of the film or with Dee Wallace, because that's kind of like the wasn't that similar to the Unsolved Mystery case?
I think so. Yeah.
That was the only.
So that was a nice little wink there. Not a fan of the movie,
Yeah.
but I like that.
Yeah, that was the only good thing about that movie was that.
Yes,
it
it was.
Come on, the CGI was awesome, Piz. Don't even sit here and lie.
Hey,
That
dude,
Weatherman.
when that Weatherman glitched as it fell down,
Oh.
dude, people in the theater were doing that. Oh. And I'm thinking to myself, there's no way this director's ever going to talk to me and Nick again. Like, we have not had Timo back on the channel since.
I'll tell you what, it's a rare thing for me to not be a completist with the franchise, but I got rid of that right when I watched it. I was like, okay, I'm done with this.
I still think it's better than 3. I
disagree, even though
no,
3 is
quality
nothing.
wise, 3 is probably better quality, like in terms of filmmaking, but at least 4 is so bad that at points you're like, I'm honestly kind of enjoying how truly awful this is. Whereas 3 is like, we think we're good and highbrow filmmaking, and we're not. So that's where I'm like, at least 4 knew it was a piece of crap, and it just, I don't know. But
That's completely fair. What about you, Christian? What's 01 look like for you?
Everybody's had fantastic picks. I'm actually going to echo Ashley. And it's kind of weird. Like, I didn't realize Frailty's still somewhat of a hidden gem, but I saw that when it came out as a kid. I should not have watched that. It disturbed me really, really badly. That's I pray to God that that'll get some kind of new release so people can find it again.
Yes.
And that hell of a cast there. Paxton, I believe McConaughey's in there. Just a dynamite film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm echoing what everybody else. I am going to add in because I do think 13 Ghosts is good. I think Valentine's good. Like those are good choices. Candy Cane. I got Joyride is my honorable
amazing.
mention.
Joyride is dynamite. I love Joyride.
Yeah.
And what's funny is we didn't realize until we just recently rewatched it that the guy that is the voice of the trucker is Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs. And I totally heard it. I was like, oh my God. And he's not even credited.
Right.
Like he doesn't even get a credited role. And all I could hear was, is she a big fat person? Like that's all I could hear the whole time we're watching Joyride.
I just wanted to add really quick. It's weird. I'm still hoping this changes for me one day. I constantly buy the movie when it comes out. I have such a profound respect for Session 9 because people love it. And I can tell it's such a well-made film. I cannot connect with it. I can't. I try. I periodically watch it once to twice a year, and I hear the people talk about how scary it is and how it gets into their skin, and I'm not there yet. And I keep trying, and I just thought it was worth mentioning.
I'm gonna leave you a voicemail like on Instagram with that little Adley voice. Watch the movie.
I get it, Christian, because that's me with Trick or Treat. I want to like that movie, but I cannot get into it. I do not like Trick or Treat. I mean, Sam's cool, I guess, but I don't.
Okay, as long as you like Trick or Treat, because Gene Simmons is in Trick or Treat.
Gene Simmons is in that. But Trick or Treat, I can't get into it, man. But what you guys were saying, my favorite of 01 is Frailty. And I agree with you, Christian. I think it's very upsetting that not many people have seen this movie because it really is a masterpiece. And this is one of the first movies I remember watching in the horror genre that really flipped me with its twist, where I was genuinely shocked with the twist at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
It's such a disturbing concept.
It really
the whole
is.
thing is so disturbing. And then when you find out like what's really happening, it's just like what the hell?
Yeah. Are you serious right now? It's God's will. Like it's just such.
You just think he's like crazy the entire time.
Yeah. So before we go into 02, Justin, will you be able to start us off with 02?
Oh yeah, I got mine list all done. So
okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure. Quentin says Christian, Nick, Justin, and Pizowell have been good friends to me on the internet. Good. Well, because they are amazing, amazing people. Oh, Cess.
Hey, Cecily.
What's up, Cecily? No, that doesn't surprise me at all because these are 4 amazing dudes. Bless the Child. I love that movie. Stop it, Saturn.
It's a rental.
Do not encourage them.
Mark will stand by Leprechaun 4.
Listen, when the movie starts and they start talking shit about Detroit, I'm like, listen, okay, I'm about to see a leprechaun's middle finger go flying through space. I don't want to hear any shit.
Also, see a
Detroit.
Leprechaun come out of a penis. So, like,
right.
This is true.
I forgot about this movie.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
shout out Saturn Video.
Yeah, don't get me started on that shit. Don't encourage them, Saturn. I love you. Let's not encourage them. I'm seeing a lot of Valentine love, and I'm shocked. I put that as an honorable mention, but Pulse, Frailty is in my top 15 of all time.
Yeah. It's so disturbing.
And he's a dog lover. Great channel name.
13 Ghosts still scares me.
I just reread all of the ghosts like backstories, and they're so good.
Oh yes, Daniel. Someone else got me the love with Candy Cane. Do you guys remember that on the DVD of 13 Ghosts? How they go into the backstory of every single ghost?
Yeah.
Like we were just talking about that earlier. I think we watched that more when we were younger than we did the actual movie.
Yeah.
If you take out that flashing light stuff in 13 Ghost, that I could have picked that. But that annoys me so bad. Maybe I'm epileptic.
You are.
Maybe.
You know?
Every time I watch the movie, I get foamy. It's weird. I can't do it.
Foamy.
What's up,
I'm always sick.
Dan?
Chris, Christian wakes up on the floor. He's got his wallet shoved in his mouth.
What
I
happened?
don't know what it is, man. Every time we watch 13 Ghosts, it's the same fucking ending every time.
Dude, the jackal terrifies me, though. Are you kidding me?
Me
Scary,
too.
Yeah.
Killer designs.
Yeah. The Juggernaut for me, man. He was,
I like the Hammer. I think he's the most like, I don't know, scary one.
yeah.
Yeah.
For real.
All right. Oh, real quick. For the panel, which stereotypical abandoned horror movie location would you not want to be stuck in real life? Example, the hospital, the woods, the hotel, etc.
The hospital.
Real quick. Since we did get a donation, we can now handle our shit.
I'm TS motherfucking A. We handle shit.
Which location would fuck with me the most? I'm gonna say like a school. It'd probably be haunted by little kids. Little kids scare the shit out of me, man. I hate
Punt those fuckers.
I'm gonna
Well,
go
but-
the. I'm gonna go the.
either they're gonna kill me or take my money and like buy school clothes and shit.
You're gonna get robbed by a bunch of children, Ken.
I already do.
I mean, you kind of do.
But I guess that is true.
I would say a hospital because I'm always there and I fucking don't want to be there anymore.
Let's be honest here.
Haunting.
You see this? You see this right here? That's because of kids. Having children ruin my body.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm tired of the little fuckers.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Big-
No, it's the dude. It's for me. It's the woods. I like Blair Witch, man. I think about Blair Witch, and it's like if there were a real forest like that, where once you get past the threshold, you literally can never get out. Like time does not exist anymore. Like that is a horrifying thought. But even without that, it's just like, dude, you can get lost so easily in the woods, especially if it's a
Yeah.
big forest. Like you don't know where to go. I got lost in the woods when I was a kid once, and it was terrifying. Like, and it was the middle of the day. Like, yeah, the
Mhm.
woods for sure.
I would go
Yeah.
the woods, and I was gonna say Blair Witch. Like, yeah.
I'll say the
every-
woods.
I
too.
think
Every time I
it's
watch
all,
that
like, the
movie,
noises of the woods, like you
Every
never know what's lurking.
I say every time I watch the Blair Witch, I know what's gonna happen. But every time they enter those woods, I'm like, okay, you guys are gone. Sorry,
Mhm.
you're gone.
Yeah.
What about you, Christian?
From actual experience, I would say an abandoned school. I never want to be in one ever again.
Yeah.
See, I agree with you, Christian.
Okay.
Fuck them kids. How about you, Piz?
I'd have to say the woods.
We got a bunch of woods and we got a bunch of schools
Piz,
and a hospital.
who is messing with you in the woods, Piz? Can we be like, who is messing with you in the woods?
Well,
It's like 8 feet
You
tall.
could just smash anything that comes your way.
well, I told that story one time on my channel about how I was me and a couple of buddies were hiking to a waterfall, and the hike to the waterfall was only supposed to be like a mile, but like they took off and left me. Because like I stopped, I was like, I got to catch my breath, and they took off, and I double timed it to catch up, and I could just never catch up. And I swear it was like I hiked for 5 miles just by myself, and all of a sudden I noticed like it was dead silent in the woods. It's never dead silent in the woods. It was dead silent, and it just felt really creepy and like I was lost. And of course, I'm thinking of the Blair Witch, and like
Mhm.
it's never quiet in the woods, and I'm like, oh God, they're gonna
Yeah.
have to send a helicopter to get me out of here. But eventually I heard the waterfall and I caught up to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's bugs. Bugs are.
Yeah, the mosquitoes would be
bugs.
the worst part for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for the question, Dan. We appreciate it. What about you, Justin? You want to start with us with 2002?
Lordy. Okay, so my honorable mention. Everybody. Okay, you ready for this? Or are you all sitting down? All right. Halloween Resurrection.
Oh, for
I'm saying
fuck's
it.
No, dude, you've got to stop. You have to stop.
What?
There's other movies that came out that year.
Whatever.
You-
I'm gonna go
Go ahead.
Halloween
Go on.
Resurrection. Part of
None
my
of-
language, Ken.
None of
I
them,
think he's fucking, dude. He's fucking around.
none of them starred Busta Rhymes.
Just wait
though.
till it's my turn.
I
Okay, it's gonna get real ugly
I-
when Ashley comes up.
Mhm.
I am gonna put Halloween Resurrection because one, it's cheesy as I'll be.
Mhm.
And two, I'm not gonna lie, like out of like a lot of 2002 horror movies that we have out there, this one I go to quite a bit. Like it's a comfort horror movie. So
God
Dude, I
bless
feel
you.
you. I feel you. I love it too, to be honest with you.
I'm dropping the mic. There we go. Halloween Resurrection. So.
At least Resurrection's fun. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
If you
what?
say you don't have
That's
fun with
right.
that movie, you're lying.
Listen,
mean,
I've
That
watched,
is right.
I've watched
Justin,
I've
let's
watched
just put it like
Halloween
this.
2 through 6. Okay,
Corey
There's
Cunningham ain't
nothing
messing
wrong
with Busta Rhymes.
Resurrection.
Like Busta
That's
Rhymes would
right.
destroy
Like,
Corey
Busta Rhymes
Cunningham.
will karate chop him.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
But
Halloween Resurrection proves beyond the shadow
Shut
beyond
up.
the shadow
no,
of a doubt. Wait,
Don't put
hold
your
on.
finger in my face.
Halloween Resurrection proves beyond the shadow of a doubt that
It
Jason
proves
could
nothing.
take Michael.
Proves nothing.
Because if Busta Rhymes could whoop Michael's ass, Jason's whooping Michael's ass. Throwing
Okay.
it out there.
Yeah,
But
that was
that-
Canadian Michael. That doesn't count. It was Canadian
But has
Michael.
Jason gone against Busta Rhymes?
Wouldn't have to. Busta Rhymes wouldn't show up at Crystal Lake.
Yes, he
Jason,
was.
Jason, you're right.
Respect.
Jason just get his ass kicked by a little kid. Part 4.
gonna-
Come on, get out of here. We're done. We're done with this conversation.
I am gonna redeem myself though.
No, you're not.
Redeeming myself.
It's
Although-
irredeemable.
You don't need to.
I'm not going to. Fuck you all. I'm part
Yeah,
of the language.
I
I
love
have your
this.
back,
I love
Justin.
this Ryan
I have your
1988. This is my favorite form of Justin ever.
So you love it. I'm happy. If you hate it, well, that's just you.
Boy, yeah.
But yeah, that's my
Tell me.
honorable mention. My choice though for 2002 is The Ring, and man, it still gets me. I love The Ring.
Mhm.
So I know it's a remake. I know I've never seen the original movie. I've heard it's great, but The Ring, the first time I dropped the F-bomb. Jason,
I know. I loved it. I
I
loved it.
love it.
Because of Halloween Resurrection.
It's so funny that everybody was talking and Justin said, I don't give a fuck. And everybody was like,
Trick or treat, motherfucker. Okay. So, but yeah. 2002 is The Ring though. That is my favorite of this year. I remember the first time I think it had come out in the video store and it was already on sale on VHS. So I remember, when I would go on vacation and visit my mom, we'd always go to the video store, buy a lot of the used movies, and then get McDonald's and go home, and we'd watch all these movies with my sisters. And we put on The Ring, and I still get goosebumps with the opening, but I do remember like the first time watching it, that opening creeping me out with Amber Tamlin and her friend.
yeah.
And then the I saw her face scene, and then you hear that loud screeching noise, and like you see the face, and all of that stuff. Just it still gets me today. It's not one I can watch a lot, but when I do watch it, it creeps me out, and it still holds up well. And I don't watch a lot because it freaks me out, so it's still a creepy movie for me.
One of the best PG-13 horror movies ever made.
Yes. Oh, and then like one of my favorite moments in the movie. It's a heartbreaking moment, but it's the scene when Rachel hears the TV out in the living room, and she opens the door, and it's her son watching the tape, and like she goes to turn off the tape, and screaming in the phone. Like I get goosebumps just thinking about that.
Mhm.
And just the thought of like your child being in danger now, and you have to try to stop this supernatural being from going after them is quite creepy.
Yeah.
Come on. I have a feeling that we'll hear more about this movie. What about you, Piz?
Let's see here. I've actually got 2 movies I want to mention in honorable mentions. One is Bubba Hotep. Awesome Don Coscarelli movie. It's actually one of my mother's favorite movies. Such a fun movie. Unfortunately, we never got the sequel, and I don't think we ever will. But the other movie I want to mention that I rarely hear anybody talk about from this year is 1 Hour Photo with Robin Williams.
Robin Williams.
Yeah.
It is incredibly creepy and at the same time just like heartbreakingly sad. His character. I love that movie, and it's of course now it's it's a million times sadder now that Robin Williams no longer with us. But such a talented guy. So Bubba Hotep and 1 Hour Photo are my honorable mentions. My favorite of 2002 is Lucky McKee's May. And yeah, and this is a movie we mentioned movies that need new releases. May has only ever gotten that ancient Lionsgate DVD from back in from the early 2000s.
Yeah.
That's it. It never got a Blu-ray in the States. This is such a good movie. I don't know what the deal is, why it's never gotten any other physical media release. And it's a movie that definitely needs to be rediscovered. Great film. If you've not seen May, look it up. I'm sure you can find that old DVD on Amazon or eBay for pennies. Buy it. Buy it.
Yeah.
Luckily
I've got
a movie
it too.
that you really, really feel for her.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
You know,
and
you're
so
like,
good.
yeah, stop doing what you're doing, but damn it, I get it.
Right.
It's one of those films through and through.
I will say this though, there's a commentary on that old DVD of like the cast and the crew, and they've actually got like the craft service guy who's part of the commentary, and that guy is so freaking hilarious. It's worth that. That comment. That's one of the best commentaries I've ever listened to because of that.
Oh,
guy.
I gotta listen to that.
Oh, it's so funny, so freaking funny. Oh,
I bought the DVD from Blockbuster when they were going out of business in 2009 or 10, and that's how I saw the movie. I loved it. It's a great movie.
I literally just wrote it down so we can watch it with the commentary because I love watching movies with commentary anyway.
So good, so good.
We will be checking that one out. So, what about you, Nick? What's O2 look like for you?
Well, it's not Halloween Resurrection. I'll save you guys the suspense right now. No, it's the only, I think, the only above the line J horror adaptation, and that's The Ring. When I was younger, I thought The Grudge was good, and then I watched it like 2 years ago, and I was like, no, it's not. Yeah, I think The Ring is the only one that's really worth your time. I think it's the only one. Part of that, I think, is Naomi Watts. I think she's just great in the movie. Funny story about The Ring is I didn't watch the scene with Samara at the end where she comes out of the TV all slow to the boyfriend or whatever, and her hair finally parts and you see her face. Like, you get a really good look at her face. I didn't watch that scene till I was probably 22. Every time I would watch the movie, I'd kind of turn away at that because I had just heard about how creepy the face was, and I just didn't want it etched into my memory forever. I don't know why. And no, it is effective for sure. I remember the first time I actually like sat there and was like, what am I afraid of? And like watched the face reveal. I was like, oh, gross. But like, I don't know why I was so scared of it. But yeah, The Ring for O2 for sure.
Because you didn't want your TV to be leaking.
I mean, honestly, I feel like I could have taken her if she ever came through my TV. But, you know.
She's a bad bitch.
I mean, Brenda put up a fighting chance in Scary Movie 3.
She did. She beat the shit out of her.
Sydney, your TV's leaking.
Dude, that's one of my favorite moments of any
I love
Scary
that
movie.
moment too.
This bitch is ruining my carpet. What about you, Christian? How's O2 looking for you?
2002 is probably quite possibly the best year of the 2000s, in my opinion. When I was looking at the movies that year, I will echo Piz. My honorable mention has to be 1 Hour Photo. That is a disturbing movie. It's painful to watch. And when they have that moment where Robin Williams is having like that apparition, or when he realizes spoiler alert, people, when he realizes that the husband was cheating, and he has that moment where his eyes go blood red for a second, it's disturbing. My favorite movie of 2002 was M. Night's Signs. That's actually got my favorite Mel Gibson performance of all time. I love Signs. It's one of my favorite movies. And the score is really good to it too.
Yeah.
So that's my pick.
Okay. Like I said, I don't hate Halloween Resurrection. I don't hate that movie.
Why you look at me for approval?
No, I'm just saying. Other than Cabin Fever is another one from 2002 that was, was all right. My honorable mention,
Queen of the Damned. I like Queen of the
yeah,
Damned.
I seen Dice mention that. My honorable mention with you, Christian, is Signs. I love that performance by Joaquin Phoenix, Mel Gibson. It's so, the end when he's like, no poison got in, no, like super emotional. I love the jump scare in the chair, when he sees the alien and he jumps back.
Dude,
the birthday party. The birthday party
Yes.
will give you nightmares forever.
Yeah, that's what he's
Let's do it.
saying. Yeah, that
Yeah.
whole
When he
scene
sees
is.
him in the knife, and they're looking under the door. Fantastic film, absolutely love it. But my favorite of the year is It's the Ring. I just think that movie's fantastic. I agree with you, Nick. When I think it's of the American remakes of foreign films, I think it's it's the cream of the crop. So I'm going to give it to The Ring for 2002.
Well, how much competition did it have? Like Mirrors and The Grudge. I mean,
Right.
I'm not saying The Ring's not great. I love The Ring, but it's like
What was the other one?
the other ones are pretty bad.
It's pretty wild to think though, because in 2004, if you go back, like a lot of people actually really did think The Grudge was good. And I think a lot of people going back and looking at The Grudge now and reassessing it are like, oh, it actually really wasn't very good. But I think it was just so novel at the time that people were like, wow, The Ring was awesome. This one's pretty good too. Wow, J-horror is going to take over. And it never did because, I mean, then you got The Ring 2, which is damn near an abomination. And we're not going to talk about rings. No, we're not going to talk about rings.
Hey, FYI, I really enjoy The Grudge, and I really enjoy Rings. So
I'm just saying, like, with The Grudge, I love Ted Raimi's role in that movie. I think he's great.
I really enjoyed that
has
movie.
the jaw ripped off, like that was fucking awesome. Yeah. Like I thought The Grudge had great moments, but I don't think it's a fantastic movie.
There's scary moments in it.
I really enjoy it.
Don't you love how Ted Raimi just shows up randomly sometimes? I always mark out I love Ted Raimi.
The Candyman.
Yeah.
Anytime you see Ted, you're like, oh, Ted, cool. He's gonna die soon.
I love Ted. I love Ted to death.
So do I. Sweet guy too. What's up, Katie?
Hey, Katie.
I will defend The Grudge and be like, hey, I'm still one that really enjoys it. And what was the other one? Oh, I really enjoyed it.
I mean, I didn't say you weren't allowed to enjoy it, Justin. I'm just saying.
I'm not saying you said anything. I'm just saying I'm like, I don't want this movie to get all the hate. I really enjoy it. So still today.
Go for it, Justin. Speak your mind. Tell him to fuck you.
I'm not gonna say that to Nick. Look at his pretty face over there.
Tell him to fuck you.
Now Kristen's just spend the rest of the night just trying to get Justin.
Now Halloween Resurrection, though, words will come out of my mouth.
If I don't, Nick will. Nick will get him a curse.
I already cursed. I'll curse again though. You'll see me curse one more time, bro. Maybe several.
Piz, you want to give us your 2003?
I haven't given my 2002.
Oh shit, my bad. I'm sorry.
Rude.
Babe.
My 2002, The Ring is my honorable mention. You guys already talked about it.
Oh, I know what your number one is.
It scared the shit out of me. I was like 12 years old. And it's still so dark and scary movie. And my favorite is Halloween Resurrection from that year. Went and seen it.
Thank you.
In the theater with my best friend, and it's got a special place in my heart. It is fun. And I felt like it was before its time. Like, it's not horrible. If you say you don't have fun with that movie, you're lying. So
it is.
I'll see Halloween 6. Resurrection ain't that bad.
Resurrection is good.
I describe Halloween Resurrection as like the candy. What was it? Not candy cane. What do you call candy corn of Halloween? Like, it sticks to your teeth. It's disgusting. It's delicious. It's all that stuff.
You can't look away.
You what?
But you keep putting your hand back in the bag.
I know. So, and FYI, I love candy corn. Like, I am a
This was just his way of getting candy corn into the stream.
I know. So.
I hate candy corn, but I do love Halloween Resurrection.
I love this. Nick burns The Grudge, but praises Jeepers Creepers 4. Come on now.
I don't understand this.
Nick does not praise Jeepers Creepers 4.
I mean,
Just
hey,
kidding.
Garrett, if you want to go back about 20 minutes ago, I said that Jeepers Creepers 4 was a terrible movie, but it's so bad at some points it's fun. But
about to have a throwdown here.
Nah, we don't want to go there.
All right, 2003. Piz, you want to start us off?
Sure. Everybody here knows I'm a huge Rob Zombie fan. I love the music. I love the filmmaking, especially his Halloween remake, best film ever. And I'm totally joking. But I will say that I do love House of a Thousand Corpses. So I'm going to say House of a Thousand Corpses is my honorable mention in 2003. And I'm going to say my favorite movie of 2003 is High Tension.
Ooh,
God,
nice.
I knew that was coming. I knew that was going to be your pick.
Yes.
Yeah.
High Tension, of course, it has that controversial twist. And the first time I saw it, I mean, it breaks all. I mean, it like Roger Ebert said, it's got it's got a plot hole in it so big that you could drive a truck through it, and they literally do. Doesn't matter. Still love that movie, and yeah. So High Tension, great movie, and House of a Thousand Corpses is my honorable mention.
Yeah,
Sometimes
very
it's
nice.
not about the destination, Piz. It's about the journey.
Exactly. Yes, and that is one brutal, nasty,
Yes.
gruesome journey.
Because I'm with you. I'm not a huge fan of the reveal, but up until the reveal, it's so good.
Oh yeah, so good.
It's graphic. It's bloody. It's just over the top. Great choice.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Nick?
Should come as no surprise. House of Thousand Corpses. I debated between this and Texas Chainsaw 03 because that's probably one of my favorite remakes, if not my favorite remake. I'd really have to think about that. But yeah, House of Thousand Corpses, I'll go as far to say it's the best Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie since Texas Chainsaw 1974. And House of Thousand Corpses, I mean. And it is so inspired by that movie. And I think the only person that could have pulled that off the way they did, and I think it's a big reason why so many people have said Rob Zombie needs to do a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. I don't know, especially back then, his erratic editing style, that kind of dirty. It reminds me of what Damien Leone's doing right now. That grimy kind of look, like that movie is a freaking blast and a half. And you go back and you look at that cast, and you're like, holy crap. Like Sid Haig, Bill Moseley, Chris Hardwick, oh my God, Rainn Wilson. Like,
Karen
it's just,
Black.
it's insane. Like, it's insane to think of. That movie's just so fun. Like, I'm hard pressed to find a movie that aside from some of the Halloween movies, that I would rather watch in October than House of a Thousand Corpses. That movie rules. Like, I can't say it's my favorite zombie movie. Like, I can't. I want to. Some days I think it is, but it's right there. It's awesome.
Uh-oh.
I think we lost him. Where'd they go?
Oh, now it's our show.
All right, guys.
Enough of this 2000s horror crap. Let's talk about
Piss
what
is
is-
taking over.
let's talk about whatever.
Sorry
What'd you have for lunch today, Nick?
I didn't. I waited till after work and I got Leonard. It wasn't late enough for it to truly be dinner, but it wasn't early enough for it to whatever. It was whatever. It's lunch dinner, and it was hothead burritos.
Oh,
No,
nice.
Nick, stop talking dirty to me, okay? I'm not a hothead burrito. Stop.
I did not say that. I said I had hothead burritos.
Sure. That's what.
Well, we got 2 of them now.
Oh man, we got 2.
We got 2 sledgehammers.
I'm trying to get back in, man. I'm trying to get back in, man.
No,
I don't know what happened.
We took over. Ken. You and Ashley, great job tonight, guys. We're talking about hothead burritos. So.
Man, I could go for a burrito right now.
Ooh, Taco Bell's burritos.
I don't mean. The PlayStation's not on.
I love a classic bean burrito from Taco Bell.
I don't mean to break your heart, Piz, but I got a bowl, not a burrito.
Well, I like to get the bowls too because they give you more in the bowl than just the burrito. So you can have like dinner tonight and lunch tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I eat that at 5:00 and I'm not hungry again the rest of the night because you get a bowl, they'll load that sucker up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Same here. Get the rice and the beans and all that.
Mm-hmm.
You're
I got chips and queso too. I was like, I was feeling it today.
Yeah, right on.
Well, who is up next? While they're figuring this out, we could keep steering. We're in 03, so Christian, I think you'd be next in the order we were going.
Okay. What did I write down?
I mean, it's got to be House.
Yeah, I picked House of a Thousand Corpses, but my honorable mention was Willard. Anybody seen Willard, the Crispin Glover movie?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I love Crispin Glover and Willard. So that was my honorable mention.
That was on my list of honorable mentions.
Such a
I
fun
hate
movie.
Rats. They gross me out.
Can everybody see and hear us again?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
There was only one of you now.
good.
So, Justin, were you up next?
I think so, yes. So, my honorable mention for 2003 is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. When I first saw this movie, I thought it was a pretty good film, but I had watched it right after the original movie. It's right when the DVD came out, and nothing beat that original film. It still doesn't. I love that movie. But over the years, like, this movie has, without a doubt, become one of my favorites. Like, I love this movie so much, and I'll say right now, it's probably my favorite remake, especially during that time. Like, it's just it's an awesome movie.
The beginning is awesome too.
Oh, that I will be talking about that one because another one I love. But yeah, this remake is just great, and I remember this has some of the best advertising for when the movie came out. I remember the teaser trailer. I remember this build up to this remake. And man, I wish I would have saw it in theaters. I did not see it in theaters, but I just remember, everybody advertising this movie, talking about the movie. Like, I go back and I look at the nostalgic stuff, like picking up the DVD with like the chainsaw when it would form into the chainsaw. Just
I still have that one. Yeah.
Great memories with this film. And again, like, it holds up for me even better than when I first saw the movie. And definitely my
Imagine what they could have
mention.
done. Imagine what they could have done if they didn't cut his arm off. That's why they went with the beginnings route, because the way that movie ended, they're like, oh, well, we killed Hoyt. We cut off Leatherface's arm, so they had to go, let's do a prequel. If they wouldn't have done that, we could have gotten sequels to that. I loved Andrew Braniarski as Leatherface too. I thought he was freaking awesome. Like, oh yeah, so good.
But 2003, though, for me, it's good old House of 1,000 Corpses. I mean, we've talked about it before, but man, oh man, this is my favorite Rob Zombie movie out of everything he's done. And I'm a big Rob Zombie fan, but like, this one for me, it's brutal, it's suspenseful, but it's a fun ride from like beginning to end. And I love it. I love what he did with this movie. There's great homages, obviously, to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Vibrant colors throughout the film. Great soundtrack. Yeah, I love it. So rest in peace, Sid Haig. Very much missed. So that's my 03.
Nice.
My 03, Willard. I wanted to talk about it a little bit. It didn't quite make the list, but yes, fantastic movie. Crispin Glover killed it in this film.
Nice.
My honorable mentions: Final Destination 2. The log truck, haunts my freaking dreams. Can't drive behind one of those still to this day. And my favorite of 2003, and people may not consider this a horror movie, but John Cusack and Identity, man. I love this film.
Dude, that movie's great.
Yes.
It is a great one.
I think it's a fantastic film. It's a film that I revisit often. Horrors don't get a second chance. I think we all know that. And it's one of those thrillers that I just absolutely adore. So yeah, I'm going.
Why you look over at me?
I love that. She's like, "What the fuck are you doing, Ken?"
I'm gonna give you.
Actually,
the reason
slap
why
him.
I looked over at her. No, listen.
He's about
This
to
is,
slap
hit
him.
his
this
ass.
is why I looked over
Slap
at
his
her.
ass.
This is a genuine, real reason.
Please tell me.
Because I don't ever talk. I don't usually say words like that.
Also, it's okay to say it in front of this audience.
Well, because I can't get hit in front of everybody. I
Like and
usually
subscribe.
don't say these.
Really? I will.
Yes, you can. None of
usually-
us.
I
none of
usually
us
don't
We
say
won't
words like
protect
that.
you.
Derogatory
not
words I
protect you.
really try not to say. So I looked at her like in fear, like before I say this, like please don't hit me for saying it. But I'm quoting a movie. This is not how I feel. But yeah, so that's the real reason I looked at you, because I was almost like expecting your disappointment.
Yeah, I was disappointed you looked at it.
So we've been married 18 years. Obviously, I don't think of you like that. Yeah, the winner for that year for me obviously is Identity. I adore that movie, and horrors don't get a second chance. So
No,
yeah,
they don't.
I love the
Good
film.
job.
What about you, babe?
My honorable mention
Sweet
is
queen princess.
Identity. Whores don't get a second chance. Yeah, that movie. I love a psychological horror movie, and the twist in that movie is amazing. And then what won it for me was Freddy versus Jason.
God bless.
Love that movie. I couldn't wait to watch it. It's Freddy versus freaking Jason. Like, you know, the CGI kind of sucked, but other than that, I liked it. And the characters kind of sucked too, but it was fun.
Another great movie from that year that we don't talk about enough is Gothica. Gothica was a fun movie.
Ashley's list is refreshing. She's going off of purely like, this movie was fun. I don't give a shit. Like, she's had different picks than all of us. I'm digging it. I'm digging the variety.
Well, I love her defense is, you know, the CGI sucks. The acting kind of is not that great. And I don't like the characters. But it's my favorite movie to hear.
It's Freddy versus Jason, bro.
Hey.
Dude, I said it back then. Like, that movie could have been an hour and a half of Freddy and Jason taking a shit
Like,
on
does
military
it literally
ties,
doesn't
like,
matter?
looking at each
It
other.
has Freddie and Jason
I still
together.
loved
Like,
Well, actually, no bullshit. Like, Freddie or Robert Englund is always on money in all the films. So, like, I could watch Freddy versus Jason at a drop of a hat anytime.
Yeah, absolutely.
Robert's always on, you know.
Yeah. Tatum, thank you so much.
Thank you, Tatum.
We appreciate you. Well, that's another donation. So let's see what happens.
When whores don't get
How's that for a slice of fried gold?
Yeah, boy.
Appreciate you, Tatum. Thank
Thanks,
you so
Tatum.
much. I saw another one in here. What's up, everyone? The panel is legendary. All the greats I grew up watching.
Oh, thank you.
Aren't you older than me, Cody?
Yeah, Cody.
You know, some people love this panel, some people hate this panel. So I guess you could say
Demons to some, angels to others.
That is like,
Definitely
I say
angels
that
to
all
me.
the time to people. That
They hate us. They hate us because they ain't us, bro. They hate us because they ain't us.
they hate us because they ain't us.
They ain't.
Yes, anus.
Eminem is gay. Yeah, she definitely was.
That's one of the best movies ever. The Interview is hilarious. That movie is incredible.
Eminem just said he was gay 3 times. All right, so now we will go to 2004, and that will be Nick starting us off. And while you do that, I'm going to go check on Kenley and take a piss.
She's sleeping.
Oh, well, thanks for sharing, Ken.
Yeah.
So 04 was another decent year when I was looking back. 04, 05, I thought were both pretty good years, but it's got to be Saw. If it's Halloween, it must be Saw. I remember we rented this movie when it first came out on DVD, and we used to do these family watches of horror movies that we would rent from Blockbuster with my mom, my stepdad, and all my siblings. And I remember when Tobin Bell stood up in that bathroom, our entire family room was like, what the fuck? Like, it was like, I mean, still, there are very few movies on first watch where the twist has like floored me like that. And I don't think it's the best Saw movie. I don't. It has the best twist of all the Saw movies, bar none. But I just felt like you can't really beat Saw in 2004. I mean, maybe you can, but it's my opinion. So I don't know. I love that movie.
Nice. Okay.
Christian, are you next?
Christian is next.
My honorable mention is this movie. One of my subscribers sent me the DVD of this. It's from obviously 2004. It's called Creep, and it's really good.
Yeah.
I went back and forth between Saw and Dawn of the Dead, the remake, and I ended up going with Saw as well. So I'll keep it short and sweet.
Yeah. I guess I'll give mine. My honorable mention is Shaun of the Dead. Love that movie. It's fun horror comedy. And then I also went between Dawn of the Dead and Saw, but chose Saw over it just because. And I wish that I could rewatch this not knowing like the ending, just because it was that great. Like it was amazing. So
I think the franchise has been chasing that kind of twist since that movie. I mean,
they
seriously.
They really tried hard, but it's just it was.
And a lot. I like a lot of the movies. You know, a lot of them are very fun, but none of them have had the weight of that ending.
Yeah.
Not a single one of them.
Damn.
Absolutely. You want to give your 2004?
Yeah.
If they had taken out that baby scene in Dawn of the Dead, I probably would have picked Dawn of the Dead.
You don't like the baby?
Well, I like it, but not in context of the movie, I guess. It just was like
Oh.
it was such a lighter shade of gray to everything else that because I love horror comedies, but I didn't feel like that was the tone of the movie. So when it happens, we're just like, if you take that out, it's a perfect remake to me.
Mhm.
Way better than Texas Chainsaw. That crap.
It's like balls
Shut
to the
up,
wall
Kristen.
the entire movie. Like
Yeah.
that movie.
Yeah, my 04, I did have Dawn of the Dead and The Grudge as like movies to talk about a little bit. Secret Window was another one that was hard to leave off. I actually really enjoy that.
I just saw
Yeah.
Secret Window. If I would have known you'd have been cool about like, oh, it's not a horror film, I would have put that in my honorable, at least in my honorable mention. I loved Secret Window so much.
That movie
That's
rules.
a total.
I
I'm so-
laugh every time when he's finally talking to himself in the mirror and he's like, "Why'd you put on the hat?" I don't know.
I don't know.
Like
Yeah.
that part is just gold, man.
That's
That
one of my
movie was
favorite
so
Depp
good.
roles.
And
Seriously.
me too.
Yeah.
Look, I think Johnny Depp is a phenomenal actor, and I think that he's done so many great things. But I just don't like a lot of the movies he's in. And it's
What about
him.
Tusk, dude?
If he had had a bigger role.
That blew me away when he was in that. That's Sydney, my wife. She freaking loves that movie. She loves Tusk. She's crazy.
So good.
That movie is crazy.
Yeah, that's one movie. But my honorable mention is actually Saw. I think Saw is phenomenal, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And my favorite from 2004 is
Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead. The perfect movie, man. There's so many amazing. The only thing I can say that is bad about Shaun of the Dead is the title. People hear the name Shaun of the Dead and they think it's a spoof movie, or it's like a scary movie or an airplane, and they don't want to give it a chance. And it's not. Like, it's such an original, good movie. It's got some good scares in it, some real genuine comedy. It makes you feel. I cry every time Barbara dies in this film. I'm brought to tears every time. It's just I think that it's a phenomenal horror movie. So honorable mention Saw, just because it was groundbreaking at the time, and then Shaun of the Dead is just, like I said, it's so close to perfect. It's up there with like Back to the Future and Pee-wee's Big Adventure for just how phenomenal the movie is in every aspect. So I had to put Shaun at number one.
Nice.
And how about
Respect.
Who?
Can you hear me,
Who's
Justin?
next? Who's next? Am I not? Okay.
Yeah.
So I have two honorable mentions for 2004. The first one is Tobe Hooper's The Toolbox Murders. I'm a big fan of this movie. I think this is a great sort of remake. It's its own thing, just kind of takes the title, but yeah, I really love this. And rest in peace, Tobe Hooper. I really feel like some of these movies that he directed later on just, don't get enough talk. And there's some, pretty good ones out there. And Toolbox Murders was one of them. I really love that. And my second honorable mention is a slasher film called Hellbent. And it's like one of the first gay themed slasher movies out there. And damn, I love this movie. Like, it's just, in general, an awesome slasher movie. Very much kind of the director was inspired by Halloween, kind of like that build up. It takes a while for the kills to happen. You really get to know the characters for a good 30-40 minutes. And you got an awesome killer in this. He's a badass motherfucker, and just has some nice abs going on there too. So you get the best of both worlds. So, but yeah, that's my second honorable mention, and then my pick for 04 was Saw. It's iconic. It's not my favorite of the franchise, but it's definitely iconic. And especially, Ashley, you had mentioned it, like when you first watched this movie and you got to that ending, like I'm sure everybody was like, what is going on here? Like, it is such a great ending. So, but yeah, that is my pick for 04.
Nice.
Hell yeah. All All right, how about you, Piz?
I'm going obscure with my honorable mention. It's a movie called The Hazing, aka Dead Scared. It's a Rolf Kanefsky film. It's a supernatural slasher. It stars Brad Dourif and Tiffany Shepard. It is a lot of fun. It's low budget, but it's actually it's quite good. So I would highly recommend it. And as far as favorite is concerned, I just went with Dawn of the Dead because I mean, I think if you're going to do a remake, that's how you do a remake.
Right.
The baby stuff was I'm okay, whatever. But you know, Dawn of the Dead, it had the same kind of bleakness and dread that the original had, but you know, they upped the ante a little bit. You know, they took the bare bones of it, of the original, and you know, they did what I think all good remakes should do. It's it's of that era, of the dreaded remake era of the 2000s. To me, Dawn of the Dead is head and shoulders above all the rest. The Chainsaw remake is right up there, but Dawn of the Dead is the best.
I
agree. All right, real quick, I do want to say this. I remember seeing Saw in a packed theater when Toby Bell stood up. The audience reaction was insane. Totally agree. The only theater experience I had that was anywhere close to that was Hereditary. When we saw Hereditary, we had the same type of experience, and it was beautiful. It's an amazing, amazing experience. I'm glad you got to experience that. Secret Window is fantastic. Afro, call Domino's and tell them. Free next time. Oh, Boomer, you're killing me. Not a Saw fan. All right. I do cry at Shaun of the Dead, Sess. I do. When the mom dies, I sob. I can't do dead mom stuff. Like that tears me apart. Ever since my dumb mom died, I can't do that shit no more. So, all right, guys, we are up to 2005, and yeah, that will be me starting us this time, right? No, Christian. Christian, you want to start us off on 05?
Yeah, sure. I have two honorable mentions for 2005 was a really good year as well. I say this not jokingly. What I think is the best urban legend film, Mary Lambert's third one, Urban Legend Bloody Mary. I think it's super fun. I like it.
That's a
more
fun
than
movie. I like that.
I like it more than both the first and the second one. And my second honorable mention, I didn't want to pick this because again, I can understand some people saying, well, it's a sci-fi movie, it's not horror. I absolutely adore Tom Cruise's War of the Worlds remake to death. That's one of my favorites. So I made that an honorable mention. And there's a lot, The Descent too, but I ended up going with Devil's Rejects as my favorite of 2005.
Nice.
Great choices. My honorable mention, War of the Worlds. Why'd you look at Ashley? That was the very first date that my wife and I ever went on. Was to go see War of the Worlds.
Oh, that's really nice. I hope you're not mad that I forgot about that movie. That's not on my list. Whoops, sorry.
Well, I had it as an honorable mention. But no, it's all good. I love you anyway. And then my winner, there's some good movies this year. I thought The Exorcism of Emily Rose was a very good movie. Another great PG-13 horror movie. But I got to go with The Descent. I like you, but not as much as The Descent. How's that feel, dickhead? Cool. See, I just think The Descent is, like I said, it's got emotion to it. Who's the real animal here type feeling. And depending on what ending you get, it could be perfect or it could be garbage, but I just think The Descent, all female cast and they're all amazing. I absolutely love The Descent. It's a fantastic movie. So my honorable mention, because of the anniversary of my beautiful wife, who I love with all my heart. Obviously it must mean as much to her too. So I can't wait for her to give us her list, but War of the Worlds was an honorable mention because I got to see it with my beautiful wife on our very first date.
All right. So my turn.
Yeah.
So my honorable mention is War of the Worlds because, well, it was Saw 2, but, yeah, I like Saw 2. They tried really hard to have the ending twist to be as good as the first one, just didn't land as well. But I agree, The Descent was terrifying. Those monsters, like being trapped under like the ground and having these monsters and not be able to see anything. And then her best friend, like,
banging her husband.
Fucked up.
When you have a best friend banging a husband, it's fucking I hate it.
Yeah.
Hate it.
So I mean,
like, what's
she
even
deserved
worse?
what she got.
Yeah,
she got.
Like, I don't know, man. Like, it's just a bummer. And like, she seems like she's more upset about her boyfriend dying, which is her friend's husband, than she is about her friend and the daughter.
Right.
You know, like she has the necklace. Like, oh, it's fucking dark. That's dark shit.
But my thing is, like, how did she survive under there all that time?
Well, that's because the Descent 2 is garbage.
Poop and pee, man. Poop and pee.
Yeah.
How about you,
I don't
Justin?
know.
What's 2005 looking like for you?
So I have 2 honorable mentions for 2005. I have the Hills of Eyes remake. I saw that movie twice in theaters and loved it both times, and I love it today. For me, it's right up there with some of the great remakes. You know, Dawn of the Dead was one that was mentioned. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Fog. I'm just kidding, not The Fog. Even though I like it, don't tell anybody. But for me, The Hills of Eyes was just an awesome remake, and I love the original movie. I think it's great for what it is, but for me, this is actually one of those remakes that surpasses the original. And then my other honorable mention was The Descent. I watched it this past October after not seeing it for a while, and you know, yes, you have the monsters in the movie, but like for me, the creepiest thing about the film is how claustrophobic it can get.
Yeah.
Like the scene where she almost gets stuck, or she thinks she's stuck in that tiny tunnel or whatever you want to call it. I was like on the edge of my seat just this past time rewatching it. And I'm like, I could never do something like that.
Hey, Justin.
I could not.
No.
I don't want to cut you off, Justin. I think Hills Have Eyes was 2006.
Okay, well, you know.
Just FYI.
No, thank you. No, I get it mixed up sometimes. Well, I'll throw The Fog in there. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna throw The Fog. No. Well, I will go with my pick for 05, which is House of Wax. Big House of Wax fan. I loved it day one when I saw it. I think I saw it. I know I saw it the opening weekend it came out. And again, talking about like promotion for a movie, this had some of the best promotion for a film leading up to its release. And I remember watching like MTV. They did a whole making of the movie. Like there was like a 5-part mini series where they talked about the making of it. They showed you the location, the casting. I remember when they did like a Paris Hilton, like her own wax figure. They really promoted this, and I love a lot of the heart that the movie had in the film, like the practical settings, how they found like this empty field and they built this whole entire town, on that location. It's really amazing. I saw it opening weekend, and I thought for the longest time the movie, bombed, because when I saw it in theaters, it was me and literally 3 other people in theaters watching this film. I always hated the hate that Paris Hilton got for this movie, because when you watch the movie, she's damn good in the movie. Like she has one of my favorite chase scenes in any slasher movie. And she's a good actress. Like,
she is.
People gave her a lot of negative crap when this movie came out.
Well,
they laughed at her. They, said she was terrible in the movie. And I feel bad for her. Like, I feel bad for her. I watched her recent documentary and my heart was broken because, she had to put a persona on. And she was going through a lot of crap. I won't get too much into that, but I love her in this movie. I will always defend her in this movie, but I'm glad now, 10 plus years later, that, people are now saying, you know what? She's good in the film. She's good in this movie.
Do you remember like a big part of that movie's ad campaign was like, come see how Paris Hilton dies.
It was like, what was it? It was like, see Paris Hilton die or something like that.
Yeah.
And her death scene's awesome. Like, I love the fact that she came back and did a House of Wax interview and like talked about the movie, still praises the film, still has love for it. And she talked about how it was really cool that, her death scene was awesome, had a lot of fun with that. And she was the one that I think she told the director, she was like, you know what? I want to run around in high heels or something like that. And he was like, oh, you want to do that? She's like, yeah, I could do that. And like, she's just so cool in that interview. And
do you remember the scene where it's all in night vision?
Yes.
She's in like a hotel room with some guy.
Yes.
Yeah, that was really graphic for that movie, I thought. Yeah.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Say, Justin, where are you at, brother, right now?
I'm going everywhere. So.
One night in Paris, baby. I LimeWired that so freaking hard back in the day.
Literally.
Anyway. Wow. Well, things just took a turn for the dark.
They did. So.
No, there was night vision. It wasn't that dark. You could see.
But hey, Cody, dude who loves movies, check out the Paris Hilton documentary. It's a really good.
I love Paris. Yeah, it's a good doc.
What about you, Piz?
I'm going to throw out another J-horror movie in my honorable mention, and that's Noroi the Curse.
Haven't seen it.
And that's pretty good. It's pretty good. You should definitely check it out. I'll also throw out there some love for Hostel. There's not been any love for Hostel yet. And I remember when I first saw Hostel, I loved the hell out of it. I don't think I've seen it since. But I loved the hell out of it the first time.
Hey, the first half hour of the movie is just a porno, but once you get past that, it's pretty gnarly. Well,
it's a porno that turns into torture porn. So it's double the porn.
Mm-hmm.
I love
who hasn't been there?
But my favorite of 2005 is The Descent, and I love the UK ending, the "It's All in Her Head" ending. She's still trapped inside, but it's all in her head. That's the best. That's the best ending. My favorite scene is when she falls into that like pit that's just full of blood and like yeah. That's my favorite part of that movie.
So yummy.
So yeah, just delectable. But yeah, the creatures, the
Leprechaun origins.
The leprechauns, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But just what was the fear of tight spaces, claustrophobia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all of that. And of course, like y'all were saying about the characters felt real. Like they all had real issues and they all felt like real grounded people. And then you throw in there the whole, the cheating and stuff, and it just very depthy, and the daughter angle, and just, and that ending again, the super dark ending is just so good. So good. So yeah, The Descent.
Nice.
How about you, Nick?
Yeah, I think from 2000 to 2010, I can't say right like offhand, but I would probably put The Descent as my favorite movie of that decade. I think The Descent is like a bona fide modern horror classic. Like I don't even think that can be argued. That movie does everything the right way. And I will take you to task, Ken. The second movie is not terrible. It is a serviceable sequel until the character decision of "I'm gonna forgive you" happens near the end of the movie, and I'm like, that is the dumbest fucking thing for this character's arc. I'm sorry. I was enjoying part 2 up until when she's like, you know what? I'm going to forgive you. I'm going to sacrifice myself for you so you can survive. I was like, no, not about it. Screw this movie. Yeah, dude, the first movie kicks ass. I mean, it's seriously so good. I don't even know. Yeah, you guys have all said it.
Yeah, it's a fantastic film. Mm-hmm. I did see Where to Go. My local theater is showing The Mist in black and white soon. I've never seen it, but know the ending. The movie's still great, and it was meant to be seen in black and white. So I hope you enjoy it. I'm sorry the ending was ruined for you. That sucks.
That ending is
but
Great
enjoy
movie,
it, Cody.
though. Great movie. Love that.
Where'd Jordan? There it is. Anaconda's 04. To hell with them snakes. What's up, Jordan?
Hey, Jordan.
My buddy. Yes. Oh, some more love in the chat. Piz for Noroi. No, I
cool.
can't say that, but people are definitely digging it. Hey, Carrie. Nice to see you. Thank you for stopping in. Hey, we love you too, Sess. Have an amazing night.
Good night. Love you.
Bye.
See, more people hate that ending too. All right, so we will.
Yeah, that ending sucks.
We'll go to 2006, and
I love the ending of The Mist.
So
I don't know, Mark. Were you talking about The Descent Part 2?
Yeah.
Clarify.
Saturn, were you talking about The Mist, or were you talking about, like you said, The Descent Part 2? So I want to say real quick, we're about to do 2006, 7, and 8. These are the worst 3 years of this decade for me. All 3 of these years were hard for me to come up with, proper. Yes.
2007?
Yes.
Dude, these are banger years.
Yeah, I think they are.
Come on, Ken. Were you just having was this like a bad part of your life at this point or something? Like, I feel like this is a reflection.
Yeah. Everything after 2005 in my life was pretty rough.
That's messed up.
I set you up for that.
I caught the pass. So yeah, 2006. I do want to throw Slither in. I think it's a fantastic film, and people are finally starting to get the love and appreciation for it. My honorable mention is going to be Saw 3. I know a lot of people shit on Saw 3 because Jeff is slow or whatever, but I think Jeff is actually moving at a very fast pace compared to how I'd be moving had that been my son that was killed and all that shit happened. I'd been pissing on those people. I ain't forgiving them.
Yeah, they're all dead. I don't care.
Yeah, so Jeff's moving too slow. I don't give a fuck. Jeff is going like fucking Lightning McQueen, ka-chow, compared to how I'd be going. Yeah. You need to save these people that are the reason your son's dead. Okay, I'm staying right back at the house. All right, have fun. Go ahead. Bye. Burn the pictures. No, fuck him. Let him die. So yeah, Saw 3. And then my winner, which I think is a very underrated film. I don't hear a lot of people talk about this movie, and I genuinely think it's fucking fantastic. And that's Mike Flanagan's Oculus. I absolutely adore this movie. I'm a huge Mike Flanagan fan, and this movie just blew me away when we watched it. It's funny because we watched this movie in the cinema, and I wasn't a huge fan because it just went so over my head, like the time jumps and everything. We sat down and watched it when it came out, and I was like, "Why the hell didn't I like this more?" This movie is so fantastic. So, like I said, honorable mention for me is Saw 3. The winner of 2006 for me is Oculus. What about you, my love?
So my honorable mention is Snakes on Plane. I love that movie.
This is what I'm talking about. Your list is fun.
It is. I'm a fun person. Okay.
Nick's like, I love your list because you have so many shitty movies on it.
No, dude, I'm telling you, I like shitty movies, but there's something to be said about fun. So you stick to what you're doing, Ashley. Don't let Ken drag you down.
Thank you. Oh, I've been with him a lot.
Apparently, I have been since 2005. She can't even put our first date on her list.
No, that was a bad year for me, Ken. And then
that was the beginning of the end for her.
Yeah, exactly. Slither won it for me. Another fun horror comedy.
So good.
So yeah.
Elizabeth Banks in that movie is just
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing.
Hot.
Super hot. Incredibly attractive.
Yeah.
Super fucking hot.
And Lloyd Kaufman has a cameo on it.
I could say when a girl.
I'd watch you do her for sure. How about you, Justin? What's 2006 look like for you?
Wait, me or Justin?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna go and say I have 4 honorable mentions. I'm cheating. My 4 honorable mentions. We had Black Christmas. Love Black Christmas. We have Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning. My second favorite Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. I love that. We have Stay Alive, which is a killer video game movie, and it might be a guilty pleasure. I don't give a shit, but I love that movie. And the Hills of Eyes remake. So 06 there. But my favorite one from that year, and I had such a great time watching it in theaters, such a blast, was Final Destination 3. I love Final Destination 3. It for a while it was my favorite Final Destination movie, but there's something about that original that still holds up for me as the best. But I love part 3. I think it's a great one. The roller coaster opening scene, still pretty intense now. And yeah, Final Destination 3, 06 for me.
Nice.
I agree. The best sequel, T. Parker.
You guys are right. I am wrong. I don't know how the hell I got Oculus as 2006. It is not. It is 2013. So I fucked that up. So the winner for 2006 for me is Saw 3, and the honorable mention is Slither. I don't know how I got that messed up. I'm sorry. Thank you for correcting me. I hate looking like an idiot. I do it often enough.
I think there may have been another movie called Oculus that came out in 2000.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I was just trying to Google and look. But
well, I wonder if
I don't know how it happened.
I know he did a short film Oculus before then. I wonder if that came out in 06. I don't know.
That might have been it, man. So yeah, I apologize to everybody in the chat. That's my bad. I can admit when I'm wrong. There was one time in the 90s I was wrong. It was bound to happen again. So what's 06 look like for you, Piz?
I'm going to throw out 2 honorable mentions from 06. One is called Them, aka Ills. It's a really good movie. Murderous children. Children with too much time on their hands, and it happens.
Yeah.
And the other is Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon.
Leslie Vernon,
fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember watching that movie for the first time and just thinking, like, wow, this is somebody gets it. This is how you do meta,
Mm-hmm.
So, but my number one favorite
cameos too, man.
Oh sure. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Number one favorite of 2006 is a movie called The Lost, directed by Chris Sivertson, based on the novel by Jack Ketchum. It's the horror of the disaffected. It's another disaffected youth movie. So the horror of youth in 2006 reigns supreme for me.
That works, man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I hate kids. Like, I'm telling you, like, scary kids for me is the worst. Kids and grandparents, like,
Because
those are supposed to be innocent.
Like innocent.
Yeah.
Sweet.
If you got old shits or young shits that are scary shits, I'm shits. I'm done. I'm out. That shit sucks.
No shit.
No shit. So how about you, Nick? What's 06 look like for you?
Yeah, shout out Final Destination 3. My 25-year-old brother still won't ride roller coasters because of that movie. Then I'm dead serious. He's such a pansy. But no, the best Saw movie, Saw 3.
I agree, the best one.
Snuck into that with a girlfriend when I was 13. And yeah, those were the days when, the cliche of you go to a movie just to make out all the time. And we didn't, because I was so into the movie.
You're like, no.
And I wonder, hindsight, she was probably bummed about that. Whatever, don't care. That movie rules, man. The only thing about that movie I would have changed is killing Jigsaw. Just because obviously they found ways to bring it back. They have the great de-aging technology of the backwards cap. So, like, as long as they have that, they're good. But yeah,
they're so much younger.
Hold on, let me take the glasses off too.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Went back 25 years just
yeah.
Now.
But I think it's the best Saw movie, and I think that movie rules.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hell yeah. And then Christian, you want to get a shirt 06?
Yeah, my honorable mention, I love this movie. It's from New Zealand. It's called Black Sheep. It's about killer sheep. It's so funny. It's under the Dimension Extreme label. So if you've ever kind of watched some of those movies, you kind of know what kind of quality you're getting. But my favorite movie from 2006 is Silent Hill. That's one of my favorite CGI movies ever.
I've still never seen that.
You've never seen Silent Hill? That's good.
It's so good. Yeah,
I'm ready for I like the director. Sorry, Christian, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I like the fact that the director of that movie is coming back and doing a proper sequel.
Yeah, I am excited for that.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. I'm hoping that we're going to get some better video game adaptations with what The Last of Us has just done. I talked about it before. The only thing I don't like about The Last of Us is it's not exactly like the video game, because when you play the video game like I do, Joel dies like every 20 minutes. So if you want to make it more like the video game, you need to have this dude dying a little bit more. If you want to convince me it's like the video game, but
yeah, you can. All you got to know is that we're getting a sequel to Detective Pikachu, so we're bound to get some great video game movies.
Dude, Detective Pikachu was dynamite.
I fucking loved that movie. I saw it 3 times.
The new Mortal
I just
Kombat rocks. The new Mortal
I just want to throw
Kombat
this out there. If you've watched Sledgehammer Horror at all, in every single episode of
Resident
Didn't See That Coming, we have Detective Pikachu. That's a twist. That's very twisty.
Mm-hmm.
I
We
don't
had that
even
in,
like Pokemon, and I like
in
that one.
every single episode of Didn't See That Coming.
Ryan
So-
Reynolds was perfect casting. I'm sorry.
Oh, truly was.
That movie kicks ass. I love that movie.
Yes. All right, guys. So we just did 2006. So we're going to go to 2007, and that will be my wife starting us off.
Please say
my
Halloween.
honorable-
Please.
It's actually no. 1408.
Come on,
is
piss Ken
my
off. Just say
honorable-
it.
I don't like that one.
Don't do it.
I don't. I can't add it to my list because I don't like that Halloween. But yeah, 1408 is my honorable mention. John Cusack is phenomenal.
1408 is an honorable mention.
Yeah, and then it had me on the edge of my seat. Like that was a scary movie. And Dead Silence won it for me for that year.
Ooh,
I feel like
banger.
that movie is so underrated, and those dolls are creepy. Like the ventriloquist dolls are so creepy, and Mary Shaw is, and that has a really good twist on it too. So
Now available in 4K.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I am more excited to see the interviews on that though. James Wan.
Mhm.
James Wan has still not made a bad horror movie.
I wish we could get a sequel
No,
to that.
Malignant kicks ass.
It's okay.
I like Malignant.
It's alright. It's cute.
Oh, for fuck's sake. It's cute.
I adore it.
So, all right, Justin, you want to give us your 07? You made me cough
07.
with that one.
You what?
You made me cough. You're cute.
I know. I was like, so cute, Malignant.
Thank you for not putting Trick or Treat on your list, by the way.
So, 2 honorable mentions for 07: Paranormal Activity, and an underrated movie here, P2, which, man, I love this movie.
Christmas Spirit.
One of the best Christmas horror movies. I'll fucking
It
say
is. I agree. Yeah, I love this one. So underrated. So underrated. Like, I wish I would have saw this in theaters. I think it didn't even last too long in theaters. But yeah, I love this. Directed by the director who would go on and direct one of my favorite remakes, which is the Maniac remake. Yeah, I love P2. Great casting here. Yeah, just an awesome movie. But my pick for 07 was James Wan's Dead Silence. For me, this is my. I always go back and forth like between this and The Conjuring as my favorite James Wan movie, but I really love Dead Silence. Like, it is a scary, scary movie. And underrated. You know, Saw came out, was a big hit, and then his next movie was Dead Silence, and really did not go anywhere when it came to the theaters. But now
It's got the best Wahlberg in it.
It does. I love Donnie Wahlberg.
Shaving.
That's how I learned how to shave.
Yeah. But yeah, just a scary movie. I love Dead Silence. So
Beware the
Great
stare
choice.
of Mary Shaw.
Yes, ma'am. How about you, Piz?
2007 was a tough year. I mean, we had so many good movies: Wreck, Trick or Treat, Rogue, Inside, 28 Weeks Later, The Mist, lots of good stuff. But my honorable mention is Planet Terror.
Oh, hell yeah.
That was one of the best movie going experiences. That just that whole movie going to the theater to see Grindhouse was great up until, the Death Proof. But Planet Terror was such a great experience to watch with the theater because everybody was into it. It's action, it's splatter, it's zombies, it's just everything that you could want. It's Rose McGowan with an M16 strapped to her leg. I mean, come on. What's not to love? What is not to love about Planet Terror?
I love that movie.
So good. So good.
Awesome choice.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you. My favorite movie of 2007. This is actually another one based on a novel by Jack Ketchum, although it is based on a true story. It's called The Girl Next Door. And it's the kind of movie that just it breaks you. It's disturbing. It's unforgettable. It's the kind of movie you once you watch it, you'll never get it out of your head. Great movie though. Not the kind of movie you're going to watch on a regular basis. Well, you could if you're a really sick person. But
I feel that way about the new Speak No Evil, man.
But The Girl Next Door, great movie.
How about you, Nick?
Oh, it's a little movie that was the little movie that could. Sorry, Ken. It's Trick or Treat.
Son of a bitch.
I remember seeing trailers for this on yahoo.com forever. And I was like, when is this thing coming out? Like what happened with this? And it was getting rave reviews from film festivals. And then it just got dropped, straight to DVD, which was a bummer because now you look at it, you can't not walk around on Halloween or go into a store around Halloween without something trick or treat related. I mean, it really has become, Sam is, right up there with a lot of the other icons around Halloween time, which is awesome. I love that movie. I think it's not scary. No. But it's just incredibly hard to find a movie that oozes Halloween atmosphere better than that movie.
It's so Halloween-y.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, just down. And I lived, not anymore. I lived in Warren County, Ohio for 23 years of my life, and it takes place in Warren Valley, Ohio, which is actually supposed to be based off of Warren County. So it feels like where I lived. Like it looks like it's just an awesome movie. It's just a fun time. I love that movie.
Yeah.
I
just love the Halloween vibes that it gives. It's just I love those vibes.
I want to like that movie. We watch it every year in October. The only Sledgehammer horror watch along we've ever done was on Trick or Treat. That's how much I want to like this movie. But then I just realized, if I took a bite out of shit, it's going to taste bad no matter how many times I do it. And that's how I feel like when I watch Trick or Treat. Every time I put it in, I'm taking a bite of shit. And I can taste it, and it's not fun for me.
I mean, just on a competence level, it's incredibly competently made. I mean, that werewolf transformation sequence is amazing, and still to this day, I do it all the time with my dog when I open the back door to let him back in. I'm always like, "Spate, get your ass in here!" I'm always just mocking the bus driver. His name's not Spite. I don't give a shit. I do it anyway because it's funny.
He's like, who are you talking to?
Yeah, you got Brian Cox, you got Dylan Baker, you got the kid from Bad Santa, Anna Paquin. That movie kicks ass. Ken, I'm sorry.
Ken, I'm not gonna give you shit. I'm the same way with Session 9, man. I really want to like Session 9. I continuously watch it. I just don't get enveloped in it.
This is gonna sound really shallow on my part, but this is why I truly think I don't like the movie. I'm a huge fan of anthology movies. Huge anthology movie fan. And everybody was telling me it's an anthology movie. It's this anthology movie. The fuck it is. This movie is not an anthology movie. It is a straight single shot. And ever since that, I got a bad taste in my mouth for it because I do not consider this an anthology movie at all. I think it's just a straight single movie where you're just telling different perspectives of the whole movie. It's not an anthology movie. It's not a bunch of different stories wrapped into one.
It literally is. What? Yeah. It's different stories that all come together. Yes, Ken, by definition, it is, though.
Yeah. So somebody's probably gonna clip that, Ken, to be honest with
you. He canceled himself.
No, I to me, it's not. It's just different perspectives of the same night.
That's the whole point.
No. To me, an anthology tells different stories throughout.
It does.
Oh my god, I'm gonna punch you in the ovaries so hard.
I dare you.
Christian, what's yours for 2007?
Yeah, I didn't want to say Trick or Treat because I actually figured everybody was going to say it. So I was like, well, let me pick something different. And I do love this movie, so I'll say what my pick is. It's called Vacancy, starring the other
Luke
Wilson brother.
Yeah, Luke.
Yeah.
It's kind of just like that. It's somewhat of a Rob Zombie-esque, Hills Have Eyes-esque type of movie.
They're in the hotel, right?
In the hotel.
Yeah, I remember.
I'm actually really hoping Scream Factory will kind of do like a nice release for that movie and get interviews and stuff. I really like Vacancy.
So back in the day, Vacancy story. Back in the day, there was a number you could call, and if you gave them a number, the Frank Whaley character from Vacancy would call that number.
What?
And tell them that they have a reservation there at the hotel.
Wow.
And blah blah blah. But what they forgot to do was factor in, like you can do that call today with Ghostface, but they're going to make sure that Ghostface isn't going to call you at 3:00 in the morning. They didn't factor this in with Vacancy. So people were getting the Vacancy phone calls in the middle of the night from Frank Whaley.
Wow.
And they were freaking the hell out. And so
that was the Vacancy Rickroll.
Yeah, there was there was like a big deal made about that. And like there was a big apology from the studio. And like, so whenever they do these calls now, they have to make sure time zones and you can't set the phone call to go through to your buddy at 4:00 in the morning anymore. Unfortunately.
Right.
Darn it. Right.
Yeah. I wish we still could.
I call Christian at 4:00 in the morning all the time.
If you guys remember Nextel, I used to alert people at like 4 in the morning just to be a dick. 2 a.m. What's up, dickhead? So 2007, I have to throw in The Mist. That movie is so great. Even if you don't like the ending, the whole movie is so good.
Yeah, I mean, it is good until the ending.
Well, when people say they don't like the ending, is it because it's a bad ending? Because to me, it's like the movie's making you feel something.
Yes,
like,
it's just too nihilistic. That's why people don't like it. It's not that it's not good. It's just like that's so dour, though. And it's like,
well, that's
the point.
cinema. Like, why is having a negative? It's weird how having a really negative feeling in a movie is bad for people sometimes. Yeah. I love it. I love watching stuff.
I was hoping he'd shoot the kid the whole time.
Me too. Like I watch Cannibal Holocaust for leisure.
Yeah, I believe that.
The fuck, dude.
I love that. I love the turtle scene. You kidding me? This pisses me.
Anyway, my honorable mention is 1408. John Cusack, fantastic film. Yeah. One of the few films where I absolutely adore the alternate and the theatrical ending. I think both endings are just so fucking good. And the winner is Dead Silence. Obviously, we're gonna have the same
great anthology.
Yeah, that movie's an anthology movie.
I'm gonna dip your balls in glitter. Yes. So,
what?
I don't want to do that though.
So yeah, I love Dead Silence. I think it's extremely underrated. But yeah, it's great film. So Justin, you want to start us off with 2008?
Yes, the year I graduated high school. Look at that.
Fucking old as shit.
I
graduated. So wait for me. I could have put the Prom Night remake as an honorable mention. Yes, I did. I saw Nick. I'm joking. Calm yourself over there, boy.
Ashley's over there, like, oh boy.
Ashley's like, I'm on that fucking
no, list. I'm kidding. I'm joking. Sit down, everybody. It's okay. Wait for me. My honorable mention is Cloverfield. I love this. This is a good one. So, great found footage movie. I remember when this movie came out, and I had some classmates see it like the weekend it came out. So like Monday they came back and they were talking about it, and they said, "Oh, this movie makes you dizzy when you watch it." And I just remember like that was a big reaction that some people had with the movie. But yeah, I love Cloverfield, so that's my honorable mention. But the one I picked for the year is The Strangers. I love this. This is another great one. The scariest thing about this movie for me, well, one of the scariest things is like the location, because it always reminded me of, a house that my grandparents lived in when I was growing up, and we'd go visit them. And it was like a 1-story house, but it was like this long house. Like the style, the look, the feel of it always reminded me of my grandparents' house. And it was like pretty much like out in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, I love this. It still holds up so good today. It's a scary movie. The idea is very
so
creepy.
real. Yeah.
And it feels so real. Even like things that creep me out are like the smallest things, like the record skipping over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
But I just remember, ironically, like when I saw Prom Night in theaters, like one of the trailers that we saw was The Strangers, and I think it was the teaser trailer. And for like a good 2 minutes, we're sitting there watching this trailer, and when the trailer ended, there was like just dead silence there. Like no one said anything. It was that like impactful. But yeah, The Strangers for me. I love this movie.
Nice.
So.
Yeah. And it's a fantastic movie, man. Brian Bertino, great director, great writer. What about you, Piz?
I've got 3 honorable mentions from 2008. I'll run through them really quick. One is Lake Mungo, a great found footage movie.
Dark as shit, man.
Yeah.
Love it to death. Love it to death.
I don't want to interrupt you, Piz, but I've never hated a character in a movie as much as I hated the neighbor in this film.
Well, both of them. Both.
Like, I just like,
the
God, I fucking hated those people.
husband and the wife.
Dead Girl.
That was good.
Yeah.
I like that one.
That's one word, Dead Girl, altogether. And there's a movie that came out that in 2008 from the UK. It's called Colin. It was made for 48 British pounds, roughly $50 US. It's a zombie film, but the movie follows around Colin, who has recently been transformed into a zombie. And it is incredibly well done. It's gory. It's emotional. It's really, really good. And to think that this guy made it for $50,
that's insane.
Wow,
is
that's
insane.
awesome.
Insane. Yeah. My number one favorite movie of 2008, though, is Let the Right One In.
Yeah, Piz.
Yeah, that movie moved me like very few movies have.
Do you like Let Me In as well?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. It's nowhere on the level of Let the Right One In. It's okay. But Let the Right One In, definitely. I can't speak higher of it. And again, just profoundly moving for me.
Yeah, and it's a great choice. I've never been a huge vampire movie fan, but the ones that I like, I super enjoy, and that's one of them. So yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
What about you, Nick?
Honorable mention is going to be Let the Right One In. I thought I was going to be the only person to say that because a lot of people talk about, the American version, which I love Let Me In, but I also love Let the Right One In. But for that year, it's The Strangers. That movie, that movie's just nihilistic. And I every now and then you're kind of in a mood for that. I don't know, like they're just doing it to do it. Like they get their rocks off doing what they're doing, and there's no motivation. And I freaking love that. I actually watched a review, and the person gave it a negative review, and their whole reason they gave it a negative review was, we don't get a reason. The only thing you get is like because you were home. That's such a dumb reason. And I'm like, that's the point. That's literally the point.
Terrifying reason.
Yes, like you're missing the point of the movie. But regardless, I prefer Pray at Night, believe it or not, because I think that is an ode to 80s slashers, and that movie is just so fun. Yeah. But as far as suspense and thrills go, it's The Strangers. But yeah, The Strangers from 2008. Brian Bertino, just what a way. And he really hasn't done much since then, which is crazy because it was a huge hit.
The Dark and the Wicked.
Yeah.
I know. I said much. I didn't say nothing. Okay. But it is
Dark
crazy
and the Wicked is my favorite movie of the last 10 years.
I know. And I really enjoyed that movie too. But you got 100 million plus grosser. and
Sure.
great reviews. And it's just like, you'd think this guy, he's going to be a horror staple. And it just, he just kind of has not really done much. And it sucks because Dark and the Wicked's really good too. So like, he's just a damn good horror storyteller. But yeah, The Strangers.
Good choice. How about you, Christian?
Lake Mungo is my favorite of 2008.
Yeah, dude, I get it. Like I said, very scary movie. Love all the cell phone action once you actually get to the lake and you go back to that moment. Terrifying.
Yeah.
My honorable mention was The Strangers, for all the reasons that you guys just said. Because you were home. I agree with you. One of the scariest lines ever. And then my favorite's Cloverfield. I love that movie. A found footage Godzilla film. And then I'll always remember the shot of the Statue of Liberty's head flying through. It was just such a dynamite shot. And even to this day, it looks so good. Like that whole sequence looks great still to this day. And you got the heartbreaking moment of, on the bridge when you get, the tentacle coming and killing the brother. Like the whole film is just fantastic. So Cloverfield for me. What about you, my love?
Honorable mention is Saw 5. Didn't hate that movie. I
Like
like
it.
when Strom does a tracheostomy to himself because he can't get out of
Of
the
course,
the
that's
trap.
what you like.
Yeah, I do like that. And then Cloverfield won it for me for that year, which is crazy because when I seen it in theaters, I didn't like it
at all.
I was actually pregnant with our son, and it made me like motion sickness almost, and I was like, I just didn't enjoy it. But upon like watching it throughout the years, like I've grown to love it, and that monster is terrifying, and like all the little creatures that fall off of it and like attack you, creepy as hell. So
Yeah, I just want to say about Cloverfield.
Before we move to 2000,
I love that movie too. I don't know why. I just totally lapsed on that. Yeah, I freaking love that movie.
Yeah,
fantastic. Troy, 08, not the greatest, but we let the right one in. Flawless. Also Martyrs, which is one of the most effective films ever, but not rewatchable. Thank you very much for the donation, my friend. It really does mean a lot to us. Let's find out what happens when zombies attack in a small town that doesn't know what zombies are.
What the hell was it? A wild animal? Of several wild animals?
What the heck was it? A wild animal? Several wild animals?
That's exactly what I said.
Was it a wild animal? Or several wild animals?
That's exactly what I said. I absolutely love that film, by the way. Yes, I absolutely do love it.
the ending's weird as hell.
Yeah, the ending's garbage. Terrible third act. But I've seen worse third acts in the last couple of weeks. All right, guys. Thank you again so much for joining us tonight. I know. We've had some of our favorite content creators here rocking out with us. And if you haven't already, Tatum's been leaving their links in the comments. So make sure.
Are we not doing 09?
Oh, yeah, we are. I just want to make sure everybody knows.
Because I got to piss you off. I mean,
I was trying to avoid it for a minute. I'm trying to let it seep a little bit.
Okay.
Make sure that you guys are subscribing to these amazing gentlemen if you haven't already. I promise you, you're not going to regret it. I also am going to have the Unita podcast in the link as well, in the description as well. So make sure you're following the podcast as well. Christian, Nick, they work great together. So it's amazing to be able to work with these guys any chance that I get. Before we do our 2009, I do want to go around the table real quick. Just tell Justin, start with you. Do you have anything coming up on the channel that you want to tell anybody about?
Nothing at the moment. So, but we'll see what happens. So, sorry, I'm kind of like it's a short answer, but no, nothing.
You're fine, man. How about you, Chris?
I'm doing a lunch with Jeremy stream this Thursday at noon.
Can't wait.
And it's also Friday is the 16th anniversary of my very first upload. So
nice. That's awesome. Congratulations.
Congratulations, brother.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah,
so we're going to celebrate during that. Jeremy's not decided what he wants for lunch yet, though.
Are you going to throw it back? Like, you're going to have like the box fan and like everything? Like, you're going to go old school with it?
I wonder if the people who live in that house now will let me shoot from there.
Yeah, you should do it.
Just go knock on the door.
Get your hair cut and everything. Yeah, you gotta go back, man.
Yeah. I'm sure
So
they'll be.
congratulations, man. I hope we could all be that lucky to, be doing this for as long as you have and as effective as you have. Very proud of you, man. Thank you so much for coming on and doing this with us. I hope that Thursday and Friday are amazing. I hope Jeremy has a great time. Let us know soon what he decides for lunch because we'll try to do the same thing.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
What about you, Nick? What you got coming up for us?
I'm about to go head first into revisiting all the Evil Dead movies one by one on the channel, like I did with Scream, leading up to Scream 6. I'm going to be doing that for Evil Dead Rise, and I have actually never reviewed them on my channel, so it's a revisit in the sense that I'm just rewatching them again, but I'm going to be doing fresh reviews for them, so I'm excited about that because I just, God, that's another series that I just don't miss. So
yeah. And how about you, Christian?
Dr. Giggles review on the Blu-ray that just came up from Scream Factory. I'm gonna be doing like a kind of like a horror room, living room kind of house tour thing. Because I said when I got to my 16,000 subscriber mark, I was gonna do like a big video for that, which I did just hit. So that was cool.
we should mention what we're doing for UNITA tomorrow too.
Yeah, we're recording. We're gonna talk to Daniel Farrens. We're going to interview him tomorrow. So that's going to be fun. And for those that didn't know, we actually just interviewed the kid from Stranger Things, Elliot.
No, Terrifier 2.
Really cool. What did I say? Stranger
Things.
Terrifier 2. Sorry. We interviewed Elliot from Terrifier 2. And
that's
that just
awesome.
got uploaded
Congratulations,
today.
man.
Yeah. That's
that kid's a little rock star, man. That kid rocks out, man.
He's cool. He's a really cool kid.
Yeah, fingers crossed he might get us in touch with Damien too. So fingers crossed on that one because we'd love to sit down with him.
Yeah, that would be dope, man. All right, guys. So now we are going to go into our 2009, and that'll be you starting us off, Piz.
2009. I have got 2 honorable mentions. One is Triangle. It stars Melissa George. It's actually directed by the same guy who directed Creep from 2004, Christopher Smith.
Nice.
And it's this mind-bendy kind of slasher movie that takes place on a yacht that may be in the Bermuda Triangle, and there's all sorts of crazy stuff going on. It's really well done. Really good movie. Highly recommend it. My other honorable mention is Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
Jesus.
That's right, Piz.
Love it.
I am a fervent defender of this movie. It's not perfect. But as much as I hate Rob Zombie's Halloween, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 is what I thought I was getting with Rob Zombie's Halloween. So this had everything in it that I wanted out of the first movie. All the crazy, the white horse stuff and the wild, visions and dreams. Exactly. I love the opening in the hospital with the Moody Blues song playing and all that. I love the fact that everybody is just so traumatized in the movie. Laurie is a head case and Danielle Harris is a head case, and you've got poor Brad Dourif trying to keep everything afloat, and it's just he can't do it.
He's easily the best part of that film.
He is so good. In that movie. Yeah. It's shocking how good he is in that movie. Malcolm McDowell's just a piece of trash that tries to save his soul at the end. I don't know. I've always liked Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. And I'll defend it. As much as I hate his remake, I really enjoy Halloween 2.
I mean, the best thing about this is if we all had the same opinions, no one would come to these streams. So even though I'm not a huge fan of it because I think that there was their lame attempt of making Michael like Jason, I respect it, man. I really, really do. And like I said, I think Brad Dourif in that movie is fucking phenomenal.
Oh, so good.
Phenomenal and everything.
I know he is, but this is one where he really shines, where you can see his depth as an actor. Like we've seen him like in The Exorcist 3 giving that amazing speech.
Right there is his depth.
But I mean this, you see him cry, you see him act like he is easily the best part of Rob Zombie. In my opinion, the best part of the film. Like the bathroom scene tears me to shreds. Yeah. Finding my little girl. No. So I respect it. I really, really do. When you say it, Piz, I respect it. Now let's get to Nick so I can say fuck you. What's yours?
I've not given my favorite.
Oh, that was just your honorable mention.
Those were just honorable mentions. Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite. My favorite movie of this year, and you know, it's more of a sci-fi, but there's horror elements. It's District 9.
Ooh,
It's,
okay.
Okay.
there you go.
Fantastic.
Nice.
I'm trying to remember District 9. Alien movie, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I know I've seen it, but I can't remember anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm right. It just, you know what? It just made the list.
You just made the list.
All right, Nick, come on. Just come with it.
It is my second favorite movie in the series. It's my favorite movie that he has ever directed. It is awesome. It is an awesome character study on the effects of trauma, and I think that every actor in this movie gives probably some of their best performances of their career. I would definitely say Danielle Harris is amazing. I think Scout Taylor Compton is amazing. I think Brad Dourif is amazing. I mean, Malcolm McDowell, he's amazing in the role, like the way it's written, and it makes sense that he doesn't get as much to do, but he's profiteering off everybody, and it's he's corporate, that whatever. I love that. I love that twist. It was unexpected. Yeah, it's Halloween 2, dude. I mean, it's Halloween 2, Always and Forever. That movie rules, and yeah, like Piz said, when I first saw 2007 in the theater, I thought I loved it. Like, I loved that movie. And Christian gives me shit all the time. And he's like, no, man, just say it. Just say you love Rob Zombie's Halloween as well. Like, don't lie. And I'm like, I'm not. There's things I love about it. But, like, at the end of the day, it's just, I don't know. Like, I'm just not huge on that movie. But Halloween 2, man. Halloween 2 was when the gloves were off. And Rob Zombie was like, in the first one, I had to adhere to a lot of what Malek Akkad and John Carpenter's vision of that movie and that series was. And in this one, Malek Akkad straight up as quoted as saying, do whatever you want. Do whatever you want.
Reign.
Yes. He was like, you can do it. That's the only reason Rob came back. It's the only reason. And he regretted it for a long time.
Yes.
Yeah, well, yeah, he regretted it for a long time because the Weinsteins wouldn't leave him alone. They were bothering him every day. You can't do this. You can't do this. You can't do this. And Malek Akkad was like, it's my property. He's going to do whatever he wants. And so that was a really contentious film to make for him, but I love it. And I know that he talks glowingly about that movie. He really is proud of that movie. And it's just like, I don't know, man. It's so good. It's so good. That movie's awesome.
Let's be real. Who the fuck are the Weinsteins to tell anybody not to do something?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. But yeah, they're like, we're financing it, and it's like, well, who cares? I mean,
what did they ever do?
Yeah, man. But no, it's Halloween 2. I freaking love that movie. Back in the day, I wanted a Halloween 3 when they announced it, and I was like, yeah, give me more. And now, over 10 years removed, I'm like, no, don't touch that. Don't touch it. Leave it alone. I love that movie. I don't need a sequel to that. The way that movie ends, and the theatrical cut, I do not like the director's cut ending. I do not like it. But with Laurie just descending into madness. Yeah, like Laurie descending into madness, not getting shot by all the cops and everything like that. I prefer that ending. I just think it's really poetic, and I don't know. Don't touch that movie. It's perfect the way it is. Love that movie.
I still think that I need to watch I've never seen the theatrical version of that film. I've only seen the director's cut.
If you don't like the fact that Michael talks and Laurie just gets shot at random by all the cops in the director's cut, you are bound to like the theatrical ending better because it is just better.
Like I said, I want to like this movie because it's
the
only reason the director's cut.
The only reason the director's cut ending is that way is because it was Rob Zombie's way of giving the Weinsteins the middle finger. And he's admitted that. He's like, I'm just going to kill them all. So you can't make a sequel. And then they were like, well, no, you can't do that. You need to reshoot that ending. So, and that was the one thing the Weinsteins, the one input they had about that movie that was correct.
Yeah. Like I said, I want to like it because, like I said, it's the most Friday the 13th Halloween there is, I think, with how Michael is. I think he's very Voorhees in this movie. But it's too much for me. Yeah, that's why you don't like it, you smelly bastard. How about you, Christian? What's 09 look like for you?
I got 2 honorable mentions. The first one is actually a documentary. It's called Nightmares in Red, White, and Blue. It's a really good horror documentary. It's one of those, like, you can go back and revisit it all the time. It's probably on Tubi if you want to watch it, but it's really, really, really entertaining. And
I love horror documentaries, so I really want to check this out.
Dude, it's so rewatchable. It's so rewatchable. And then I really like House of the Devil. That's my other honorable mention too. Great movie. But my favorite is also Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. And unlike Nick, I'm gonna not go into a diatribe.
Fuck off. You know I do every time I talk about that movie. And not just that, Ken set me up for it. He's like, come on, Nick, just do it. So
I totally
I'm
did
gonna
too.
do it.
Which I love, man. It's so much fun. 09 for me was stacked. I love Jennifer's Body, Orphan,
Dude, so
Morning
good.
in Connecticut, Drag Me to Hell. Like there was a lot of great movies.
Yeah.
But I would say my honorable mention is Zombieland. I really, really do like Zombieland a lot.
Me too.
I marked out in the theater when they got to the gate and it said BM. I was like, Ashley, I swear to God, if this is Bill Murray, I'm gonna freak the fuck out. Bill Murray's my favorite actor of all time. And when I saw Bill Murray, I just fucking wigged, man.
She says, "Who's Bill Murray?"
And he's like, I am not afraid to punch a child. I was like, do it. She deserves
check
it.
out Adventureland if you haven't. It's another land movie with Jesse Eisenberg, and it's got Kristen Stewart in it, and they work at an amusement park. And I could relate to that because I worked at Kings Island as a teenager. It is a quirky, dry humor kind of movie, but I love Adventureland. It's really funny. I really like that.
I'll check it out. Comedy, right? That was just a straight comedy.
Yes.
Yeah. But my favorite of 2009 is The Collector. I think that The Collector is so good. I know I love that we got The Collection after that, or was it Collected? And we were supposed to get Collection.
Yeah, we got.
No, it was a collection. It was a collection, and we were going to get the.
And they were supposed to get collected.
Yeah.
But it still hasn't happened. But man, I'm telling you, like when we first watched The Collector, I was like, holy shit, this is what every Saw sequel has wanted to be. I think that I think The Collector is scary. The eyes are terrifying. Just how brutal he is. Josh Stewart was great in this movie as the anti-hero. Yeah, very, very good movie. So I'm going to go with The Collector. And I think The Collection has one of the greatest horror openings of all time. I absolutely love the opening to The Collection with the machine. I think that's fucking brilliant. But
the like rave or whatever. Yeah, that's awesome.
So that's my 09. What about you, my love?
So mine's the same actually. My honorable mention is Zombieland. Yeah. It's such a thrill of a ride. I love that movie. The humor lands. It's funny. It's got gore.
I cry.
Yeah, you do cry. It's a good one. And then The Collector. This movie is such like a cat and mouse type movie, and it just keeps you on the edge of your seat the entire time. And it's like your anxiety. You just feel that anxiety of if he's going to get caught in that house, it's disturbing and it's scary, and I love it.
And the reason he's doing it, it's so good. So we once again want to thank everybody for coming out in the chat. I know we didn't talk much. Oh no, we're not done yet. We're not done yet.
Wait a minute.
I see a lot of people in the chat that are still going.
I feel like Justin's already kind of spoiled his favorite movie of 2009.
Have you really?
Just do that.
Maybe.
Yeah, guys. It's just like I wanted to say real quick before Justin gives his. Make sure that you guys are subscribing to their channels. I wanted to say that one more time. Chat. I know we're usually a lot more active than this, but we had 6 people on the panel tonight. I really wanted to have all our attention on these amazing guys. So make sure you're subscribing to them. Justin, do you want to give us your 2009?
Yeah. Well, I'll give you my honorable mentions. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, of course. The one thing that I'll say, because everybody's mentioned some great things about the movie, is I love Rob Zombie's commentaries. Like his commentaries are some of the best, and I love his Halloween 2 commentary. My second honorable mention is one that no one's brought up. It's it's a fun, campy slasher movie, and I absolutely love it. And it is Sorority Row. I wish I would have saw that movie in theaters because I had such a fun time when I finally saw the movie. And it's sad it bombed because I think Prom Night kind of ruined it, and I think people expected another Prom Night movie, but it's a brutal R-rated slasher movie and took me back to what I love about fun 80s slashers. But yeah, my favorite of 09, yes, it is on my t-shirt. That's The House of the Devil. I still remember like it was yesterday, like when this movie was coming out, and There's so many people talking about it on YouTube, and word was getting out about this movie. And you know, Ty West, you know, he had directed, you know, Cabin Fever 2 prior to it, but this was like the film that really got people to talk about him. And damn, it's an awesome movie. The lead actress in the film, I think she is great. I wish she would get more in film, but she got Doctor Sleep and she got Insidious 2. So she's a really good actress. The music, I love some of those songs that play throughout the movie. Yeah, House of the Devil rocks. Like for me, this is, you know, we talk about Ty West today, and we talk about the amazing work that he's doing with, you know, X and Pearl and Maxine coming out. But you know, House of the Devil and The Innkeepers are two of my favorites.
Innkeepers is another good one.
But yeah, House of the Devil. So
yeah. Amazing list, everybody, tonight. Thank you guys again so much. This is the biggest panel we've had, and we wanted to make it happen with you guys. I do want to say April 1st, the brand new series that we're doing called In Defense Of, where we bring on old guests to talk about a horror movie that may not be the most loved in the community. That will go live on April 1st. And the very first guest we have for that is Josh Shepard, the amazing drummer from Coheed and Cambria. And we talk about possibly the best Friday the 13th movie of all time, Jason Goes to Hell, and why it is not as bad as everyone makes it out to be. Why it could potentially be one of the best in the whole franchise. So,
Don't agree.
Me neither.
dude,
if
if you do Jason Takes Manhattan one day, I want to go on there because I could probably make a list of why I love that one. So
I'd love it. Like I said, I can't say who the other guests are yet, but Josh is doing Jason Goes to Hell. We'll be doing an episode on Seed of Chucky.
I'm doing
Halloween Resurrection.
I will do
Child's
Halloween
Play
Resurrection.
Please no Seed of Chucky, Ken. Please. Dear God, don't.
Yep.
Yeah.
Seed of Chucky, Child's Play 3, Halloween Resurrection, and everybody's favorite, the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. I have guests lined up for all those.
That one I will defend.
It's hard. Like, I'll tell you this. Ashley did not do Jason Goes to Hell with me and Josh
nothing good to say
because she couldn't find anything positive to say about it. It was quite unfortunate. It was an unfortunate series of events, but T. Parker, that's enough. Yeah, so we are going to be doing that.
You got canceled.
Josh did an amazing job at coming up with a bunch of and I went in honestly, you know, I gave the Rotten Tomatoes score. You know, we went all out like, this is why people hate this movie. Now you need to tell me why it's worth watching. So I'm really excited for you guys to check that out. So you panel, please don't go anywhere. I got a couple more questions for you. Everybody else, as always, I'm Ken Sledge.
I'm Ashley Sledge.
Keep talking horror.
Stay who you are.
And we'll see you guys soon.
Bye, guys.
And I'm Nick.